closer, but time is not in his favor. He has a challenge to shotgun close, and Wood's gonna get it!
Do some damage. Nikolai from the backside! Finds Wisdom again! It would be a big one. He's finding the first. Can he find it? Swing again!
What? Left in a 1v3, make that a 1v2. Make that a 1v1! Oh my goodness, Nitro sell out, and who's gonna stop him?
Hello everybody and welcome to, well, I guess the second closed qualifiers for SCS Season 6. I am Lynx, joined by Benny. And, well, Benny, while we take a quick look at what happened yesterday, if you didn't catch all the open qualifier action from yesterday, we have a couple clips lined up to talk about and, see what happened. But Benny, I think this qualifier, the big thing you can say about it, a lot of new faces that we saw in the first open qualifier, but since a lot of those, more famous teams have gotten knocked out, you get to see a lot of more newer teams show and shine.
Yeah, I would say there were some people I knew back in the first qualifier. Now there's like at least half the teams I have no clue about. And you can see here, like, of course, we see Valkyrie. We always see Valkyrie from first qual. They're doing great. But Valence, I have like no clue. I think I've seen some of the names in like Twitter. That's right about it from Valence, but I just no clue what they are. And then like there's other teams like Soup. Crazy name, Soup.
Great name, in my opinion. Fantastic.
Fantastic name. Like I would never think I'd cast a team called Soup, or didn't ask. I didn't ask which name was, or Sinai Village. What does Sinai Village mean?
I actually don't know. I don't know what. I think it's Sinai Village. I know Sinai. I think that was a map in. Is it a map in Battlefield 4?
Oh wait, was this? Oh, you hit. Was this Sinai? Oh, that rings a bell, but I cannot for the life of me remember because it was so long ago.
I can't remember either, unfortunately. But I pretty much am of the same mindset as Benny. We have seen, at least for me on Valence, using that as an example, I have seen a lot of the members on that roster, or a lot of the team members on that roster. Haven't seen them play in quite a while, but teams like Didn't Ask, of course, you might be acquainted, Delta Force Hawk. Seen that team play a couple times. Sinai Village, certainly not acquainted with them whatsoever. But after all that action yesterday, we have boiled it down to our 16 teams who will be competing various points in the closed qualifiers today. So if we want to take a look real quick, see how Benny and I and the rest of us here at SCS think they stack up, we can take a quick look at our power rankings as well for the teams. And of course, this segment is sponsored by Mike and Ike's, the candy you can always rely on to power up your game and hopefully play like some of the better teams in this qualifier today, because Benny, don't know who it will be yet, but at least for us, you can see our top 4 and see if you want to power up like them. In this case, Wichita Wolves Academy, SQ Academy, the latter of which has built up quite a reputation for themselves. They're kind of the Goosick of this qual. Just seem to be world leaders. If you want to power up your game like them, make sure to get Mike and Ike's. But Benny, right now, these are our top 4. These are who we think, before the games have been played, these are the guys that'll make it through.
Yeah, we went through the bracket. Bracket's been out for a little bit. We've seen what teams are playing. We thought, hey, from these brackets, who's gonna make it through here? We thought Wichita Wolves, of course, they've looked great. JJ, of course, is looking pretty good. Outlast as well. They've been looking better with Bio on the team. Apparently, he's been playing SI quals with them. I don't know if he's playing today or not, but they've been looking better with him. Windstorm, definitely a good team. And then SQ Academy, like you said, Team Goosick. We know they're unknown quantity, but they've been doing well.
Yeah, and at least for us, I will say there is a little bit of an asterisk. Well, I guess actually not that much of an asterisk, but if I want to talk about what I'm going to say, let's go to our top 8 next, and where I think there could be some upset potential to come out. Obviously, we have Soup as one of our top 8 teams. We think they could get close, but won't quite make it. I do think the bracket that contains 4 teams: Soup versus Asylum Patients and Skull versus Outlast. I think of all the brackets on the board, that is the one where the teams are the closest together and contains the most upset potential. We have Outlast making it through, but not only would I not be surprised if Soup makes it through, if you want to go to the next 4 in the list, a team like Skull, I think they also have a chance to upset Outlast in the first game of the bracket. So I think the bracket, that specific group 4 teams that we're starting out, I think those are the ones where it is least certain who's going to come out on top.
Yeah, definitely agree. That green bracket for me definitely seems like the most competitive. Again, I don't have a whole lot of experience in the T3 team, but from my knowledge and from seeing, that green bracket seems like the most competitive out of the 4. And of course, you see the bottom, we got 9 Line Burgers, Firestorm, Didn't Ask, and Landscape, and those teams haven't been doing too hot so far in the last last few qualifiers, last few games. So that's why kind of they're ranked at the bottom, unfortunately.
I think also a couple other teams to note. We obviously have Wichita Wolves Academy making it through the bracket we have right now. That Wichita Wolves will play Mystic Academy in that final match. I do think that one is close as well. Mystic Academy have certainly looked like, while they've struggled at times, that they can contend with some of the higher level T3 teams. I do think they'll fall short, but they could surprise us. And the one other, I think, big upset that we haven't addressed, Benny, we have Windstorm making it through over Okami, the CL team. And I don't know about you, but not to be harsh, at least for me, I do not have that much faith in Okami anymore.
It's we call them the CL team, but they're such a different roster. And I don't feel like I can call them a CL team. It's just because they've changed the roster so much. Like, sure, many players on that team have played in CL, but it's a totally different team than the Wakami we've seen in the past. So it's like, I don't know if I call them a CL team, what I call them at this point, but I do agree with you. I don't have a lot of faith in them, unfortunately. They're ranked at least 7th. They're ranked up there with top teams, but there's just been such up and downs with that team. I just don't know what to expect anymore.
And also, at least in our bracket, of course, we have the final match being Slat Kami, in this case, not Okami technically, going up against Windstorm. They are also the number 2 seed. Windstorm is. Wichita Wolves Academy is that number 1, so they're not quite there yet, but they do have the same record of 7-1. And especially if you've been watching SI Quals today, who've seen Twist play on FPL Queens, they did end up losing. But Twist, over the past couple days, has certainly been playing very well, especially mechanically speaking, going up against Okami, where maybe that Windstorm, maybe just playing a little bit aggressive, getting in Okami's face. That can be sometimes where that team has historically struggled. This new roster, not too sure, but I imagine it might be a similar problem overall, and that's part of the reason why I think that Windstorm, not to be mean, I don't think it'd really be an upset over Okami. I don't think either win would particularly be an upset, but I think, unfortunately for the CL team, they are looking pretty even.
Twitch just came off of playing PB and other PL teams. He's not going to play
That's true.
Okami.
And of course, we did start to talk about it a little bit. I did get a little spoilery with our bracket section, but I'm excited to see some of these matches today. So we can start taking you through our specific bracket predictions. For the first one, we have Mystic coming out ahead over In Control, and Wichita Wolves Academy coming ahead over Valor's GG. They fight in that close qualifier round number 2, but we do have Wichita Wolves Academy going in first. But I do have to say, Benny, I am surprised by Mystic Academy's, I would say, run so far because, well, at least personally for me, I know Natural's on that team. Natural was in the very first league I ever casted alongside EJ. So, and not to be mean, he was always kind of a player that was kind of struggling down there. Always on teams that were kind of in that middle of the pack, T3. Never really quite making it to the top. They're not quite there yet. However, I have to say I am pleasantly surprised by the glow up they've had after they got picked up by Mystic. That Academy team was formed. Definitely have defied my expectations. I don't think it will be enough, but I do think they might be able to put up a fight against Wichita.
So, Valor's Wichita, I think we get 2-0. I think it's a 2-1.
I'm pretty sure that
I've not seen Valor, so I don't know really to say here.
Valor is also one of those teams that, well, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like T3 as a whole, where there always seems to be a different roster at various occasions. Okay. It is kind of like that, where Valor's, I remember Beezer being on the roster at one point.
Oh my God.
A couple different people being on that roster. This one is one I'm not as familiar with, and I don't entirely know how well they've played in open calls, but it hasn't been too great. I think Wichita Wolves should be able to comfortably come out on top. So I will say 2-0. If it's a 2-1, I'll be surprised.
Yeah. We've seen Wichita Wolves so far. I do agree 2-0. Next one, Mystic Academy versus In Control Nation. We've seen In Control Nation play.
That was
I would say 2-0 for that one too.
Match of the century, that one. But no, I will say, while you and I were certainly not fans by any stretch of the imagination about what happened in that In Control game, they are looking okay right now. They're at number 9, so in that bottom half, but right next to Mystic Academy. So I think this one might be a 2-0, but if it's a 2-0, it'll be a close one. I do think that it might be a close contest. I could be wrong, of course. Don't know until we actually get into the match. And while I think Mystic comes out ahead, I do think it's possible for In Control to keep it close, even though you and I don't exactly have the most stellar sample size.
I'm sorry, my recency bias of seeing of what I've seen, last played is just not pretty.
That match still leaves a sour taste in our mouths a week on. But then we get to the bracket that we talked about, that we said could be the most competitive bracket out of all these teams right now, is the green bracket. Starting out with Soup, Asylum Patience, and Skull Outlast. Honestly, Benny, I really do think that any of these matches could go any way. Soup Asylum Patience, we've seen Asylum Patience. They were at the top of the first open qualifier for quite a bit. Fell off pretty soon after. I think Soup could certainly upset them. I think they could go on to fight Outlast. But I also think Skull have kind of a good shot at upsetting Outlast as well. So we have Outlast going through. I think the veteran experience of Biologic, as well as what has proven to be a pretty solid core 3/5 of the Outlast roster, can come out on top. But there's a big asterisk next to that, and I really do think that that final team in the qualified spot could be any one of these four.
100% agree. 100% agree. Like, it just, like, sure, I think Bio brings a lot of leadership and he brings a lot of experience to the team, but Outlast as a team has just been, we've never known what the strengths and weaknesses are. Well, maybe weaknesses, we know what a lot of weaknesses are, but we've never really known what their strengths are, unfortunately. And they've always been great at times. They've showed us great. They played with Shaw Wolves, great game on Clubhouse, but then they go play another Clubhouse, another game, and then they don't do as well. And it's always been so weird. And then like a Super Silent Patience being the old phrase tacos, they bring on Snows, pretty good for them so far. I don't know Soup though. You're more in tune with Soup as a T3 team. I don't know much about them, but I do agree. This could be like anybody winning this green bracket at this point. I don't know. We said Outlast, but it could be anybody really.
Soup has quite a few players that actually they're kind of the era of T3 after I started to not cast the amateur scene as much, but I was watching and I have casted a few of these players. Packrat was a menace to society on title back when he played there. Was a force to be reckoned with. Snake, obviously, some renown there. So I have some experience, but yeah, I'm definitely not as familiar as opposed to, say, teams like Wichita Wolves Academy, or I would say Mystic Academy, but that's more so fortuitous from my own experience than actual casting at the RSA, EPS, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But going to the red bracket, the next one up. This one, I would say for the first couple matches, in our opinion, it's fairly clean cut. We do have Windstorm coming out on top, and there's a chance we do have Okami, or Slat-Kami in this case, just to, clear up any confusion. We do have them coming over the top on Firestorm. I will say, I think that one might be close, but I think it'll be a 2-1 and Okami will manage to come out on top. But I do think that when they have to go up against Windstorm, a team that has looked very good in this qualifier and also, as recently as today, has some very good individual performances on that roster, I just don't think that team, especially through all the trials and tribulations they've gone through, will stack up to Windstorm. Not saying it'll be a 2-0, but I do think it'll be a Windstorm victory.
I think the first game, Windstorm 9 is 2-0. It's going to be, we've seen Windstorm do so well recently, and this trip on his own has been freaking ridiculous. Or not Twist. Sorry, I said trip, but Twist. Twist has been so far just playing SI quals. You can see how well he is. And then, Firestorm, Okami, I think that could be close. I think it'd be a 2-1 Okami, really, because Okami is like, as a team now, they don't seem nearly as in tune as the past Okamis as a teamwork, really.
And what's ironic about that is they weren't exactly in tune sometimes previously, especially on the entries. There seemed to be some dissonance going on in the comms of that roster. But going to the final bracket, SQ Academy didn't ask, and Landscape Co versus Aerial. Don't want to be rude, but this is kind of one that Benny and I are thinking is going to be a little bit more clean cut. Didn't ask always seems to at the least expected times put up a really good showing, but against SQ Academy, who have looked extremely good so far, I think they can pull it through. But then again, Benny, we were also saying the same thing about Gusick last week, and well, Gusick going into this quals as well, and not only last week did they fall short, this qual they definitely disappointed quite a bit. So could be a bit of a curse going on there, but I do think that SQ Academy will make it through. Then we also have Aerial Academy going on to make it through. But there, Benny, that will be that'll be an interesting round number 2 match on that orange bracket, because I believe we have SQ Academy going through. I actually can't remember.
I think we said SQ Academy go through, because didn't ask, we've seen play before, and they've been okay at times, but we've never seen anything crazy from them. We've never seen anything really that they've excelled at per se. So going off your knowledge, you thought SQ Academy was going to be the one to go through, and then of course Aero Academy, they've just looked great. Landscape Co, unfortunately not so great.
Well, I would say Aerial Academy have looked good, but again, recency bias. Going back to that in control match, we do know there's a little bit of trolling potential on that roster, so it is not at all certain to be a W to even go forward. We'll have to see. Wouldn't be surprised if Aerial Academy comes through, but once again, 2 weeks in a row, I am rooting for the underage Demon Squad to be one of the teams to qualify for SCS. And not to be mean, if Eclectic can do it just by sheerly upsetting all of our expectations, I think SQ Academy certainly can. But those are our predictions. Those are who we think will qualify through the closed qualifier. Will half of these be wrong? Probably, in all likelihood. Or we could get all of them right. That'd be pretty cool for us. I think we got, was it 2 out of 4 right last week? I think.
I think so. It's.
I know it was Harrison and I did it. So
Yeah, I think you guys did it. I called a couple of them, but I couldn't. I'm not going to call it eclectic. That was not happening. So I'm not going to call it eclectic.
Nobody on the face of the earth. Nobody on the face of the earth saw eclectic coming. But also,
there's no way.
Don't have to stall too much longer. We have the map vetoes to show all of you. We will be going for our first match. Of course, as you know, actually we did mention it. We will be doing the Soup Asylum Patience match to see if Asylum Patience, the CL Caliber team, can come through, or if Soup will maybe dash some dreams for another CL team inside of SCS so far, because that seems to be the pattern, Benny, for really every CL team that has come through here that wasn't invited.
That's the kind of thing. It's like, are you really a CL team?
Yeah. You know, could be worse, but
it could be. Yeah, at least it's
not been great for Challenger League so far.
It's good to see that these underagers are showing up. That just because you've been in CL don't mean anything.
Well, obviously these are the teams. I mentioned Packrat. He's definitely a player to look out for. Where will we be going? First map up is Cafe, then Oregon, and finally, it appears, yes, we will have Villa. Well, aside from Clubhouse, the standard T3 map pool.
I have to say, it's Villa, Cafe, Oregon. Like, it's
the nice thing I will say, speaking of Packrat, actually, coincidentally, he had one of the nastiest flicks on Echo that I have ever seen on Cafe. So, that'll be a sight to see. It is a Silent Patience map pick, so that isn't saying, it was guaranteed to happen. I hope
people actually win their attacking rounds.
That would be super cool, wouldn't it? Because the last Cafe you and I casted, that didn't happen. Was it all defenses? Was it 15 defenses?
It was 15 defenses.
Oh my!
Nobody opened a wall. Please open a wall.
I was so sad.
Please do some kind of heart breaching. Please put the Rainbow Six Siege or the Siege in Rainbow Six Siege.
Well, one place we will definitely see hard breaching in all likelihood will be Oregon. Again, very, very standard map, so won't expect anything too crazy there. It can be very sometimes constricting for these teams, but this is the game plan for this map ban. You're not trying to get too crazy. You're trying to play these maps that you've played repeatedly and repeatedly, and every team has some kind of a game plan on Club, some kind of a game plan on Oregon, some kind of a game plan on Cafe. Some of the maps like Chalet and Bank, maybe not the case, but these are some of the more standard maps and have been for going on a year and a half now inside of the amateur scene. So not at all surprising that this is what they're getting. And for Asylum Patients who, again, are just trying to play comfort maps, even if they might be strong for Soup, it's an understandable game plan. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel in a qualifier.
I just want to do the basics. Just do the basics and do the best you can right there. Don't do anything crazy. Don't throw it in because this is only one chance. Last qualifier.
Last chance, yeah. They had two chances, but unfortunately, for some teams, didn't go their way, obviously. But first map up, Benny, we do have Cafe. Of course, we haven't really seen Soup because they are just kind of an amalgam of different players. We don't have exactly a record for them on Cafe. Asylum Patients as well. We have some semblance of their record when they were Fernie's Tacos, but how well can you really gauge that anymore? Just off of sheer vibes, who's winning Cafe? Just no analysis, just sheer vibes.
Oh, dude.
You look at a team in their roster, and you're like, that's who's winning.
I might have to go the other Rangers. I feel like Soup here just has this just vibe. Just this, as long as they just keep that rhythm, keep that vibes up. I think Soup's gonna win this.
Well, I actually will agree with you. I do think it could be close. I think Asylum Patients could very well win, but I am buying into the hype. As always, I come from the underage scene. I'm feeling it. I believe in this in the upset potential or against Asylum Patients. Also, the cynic in me does sometimes like to see the underagers upset the CL teams, kind of do away with the established order. Not preying on Asylum Patients' downfall. I certainly think they can win, but it is kind of nice when you have them come down, tier 2 to tier 3, if you want to call it that, and then end up maybe losing or eating their words a little bit.
According to stats, last time Fernie's Tacos played Cafe was against Outlast.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, is there a time that I can remember where they played Cafe other than that Outlast game?
That was the only one I can think of. Yeah, I think it's the only one because they just entered CL this season. Like, they've only been one season anyway.
That is, well, I mean, yeah, but they could have played a couple other maps. I don't know. They could have played Cafe one other time.
Nope, they played Clubhouse Villa, Clubhouse Oregon.
Outlast lost that game, right? They lost 7-4.
No. Oh yeah. Outlast lost it. So yeah, Fernie's Tacos won that 7-4.
Hey, you know who went big in that Cafe game?
Who?
Boys. You know who's not on this roster anymore?
Oh, I remember that.
I mean, Nat also did do very well for himself. It was Nat and Poise, but half of the team or the duo that did very well for themselves on that map is actually no longer on the roster before. If you actually don't know, Poise was dropped towards the end of the season, and now Gucci Gang Snows, verified on Twitter, has taken his place, who was actually on Wichita Wolves Academy at one point, but now is, obviously, since Asylum Patience is a CL team, is on the roster. So I actually don't believe I've casted Asylum Patience with Snows there, so this will be a new experience for me.
Have not done so let's be new. Also, if you cast out Last later on, or cast out Lessons Time Future with Bio on team, that's kind of crazy too. If it's Bio, at least I don't know if Bio's gonna actually be something for them or not, or if it's gonna be somebody else.
I believe the word is that it will be Bio as their 5th for tonight. But also we did cast Outlast with Mr. B, and it didn't look great, to be perfectly honest. So I will say,
yeah, you guys did cast, yeah.
I am very surprised that I don't know if Mr. B was dropped or left, I'm not sure. I was surprised that he was gone so soon. Thought they would have tried to stick it out through the second qual, but hey, it's T3, anything can happen. But you know what's happening right now? Getting right into the game. We have all 10 players in the lobby, and we can see how Cafe rolls out between these two teams. Asylum Patience will start out on the attack, Soup on the defense, and that means, Benny, that they will ban Thatcher first, as opposed to the other team, who, if it's unbanned,
is this gonna be the same
exact
bans? Oh,
it's
my God.
you know it is.
It's gonna be Habana, Thatcher, Mira, and Valkyrie as per usual.
Probably, I would not be surprised. And well, it's not the 2 operators you said. It was likely the 3rd if you wanted to keep going. So
yeah, if I kept going, yeah. I'm assuming they'll ban Thatcher unless they go crazy. Maybe something different. They have the chance here to try something else.
Maybe
we've also seen how powerful Thatcher can be on Cafe. So
that is true. There was one game you and I casted. Was it during a previous NSG tournament where Thatcher was up and they just kept not using his EMPs to clear out the utility in Christmas?
Yes, yeah. I don't know if it was energy tournament, but I remember vividly that one team didn't bring Thatcher, the second team brought Thatcher and annihilated all of their gadgets every single round.
Benny and I have casted some stinkers on Cafe, and not the good kind. But to continue with the ban phase, you do have a Thatcher and map ban on the board, so that does mean you have some ranged options like Hibana, but operators like Cade, who you'll notice have gone unbanned in this match, will be extremely powerful. They did go, both teams, for the standard Valk Mira, but keeping that Cade on the board and is really going to be something that helps Soup quite a bit going into their defensive half because, well, aside from nades, there's really not an easy way to bypass those electric claws if they are brought, so running operators like Hibana, which you can see Snows bring out, it's going to be difficult to maneuver around those if you aren't able to get your utility, like grenades or Twitch drones, in the case of Flipper, into positions. Where,
yeah, we switch a lot more often too, which is interesting. People would mean Twitch to try and deal with that, or go with Buck and go below, but Buck isn't brought as often because you need grenades, you need that utility at times. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with the Kaid from the side of Soup. At the same point, it's like, we've seen it Twitch so often now, and it seems so difficult to try and position those drones and get them into the building in the first place. And actually, no weapon brought. That's actually something we talked about a lot that was just never brought sometimes on Cafe.
Yeah, that's it's as always, it's not 100% necessary, but if you don't really want to pay too much attention to watching those flank drones, which obviously you should, but if you're going to do that, please just bring a nomad. Just bring a nomad. It hurts when the flanks go off. We're like, what would have stopped that? Aside from watching a flank drone, air jab. You don't want to be that team that gets flanked every time because you just didn't bring any real flank watch. So
if you know that they flank you and they run up those stairways every single round, why would you bring a nomad?
Sometimes that utility, man. Sometimes it's really important.
Yeah, sometimes it's really important, I guess. And well, I feel like it makes more sense too, especially at T3 where all these teams like these underragers are crazy. They just want to take fights and swing everything. So
well, what's ironic about that? You talk about crazy and swing everything. They're actually going for the setup on Cafe that is a little bit more reserved. Normally, like the crazier setup, air quotes. You got the castle and the Aruni gates on the double door. You have somebody playing inside of the humidor and also aggressively inside of Christmas. They're playing this very default, very standard Supard. Which, to be fair, they don't need to. They have that Cade on the board with Thatcher and Mav gone. They can afford to bunker a little bit. And also, I'm also eating my words a little bit because we have somebody down inside of Reading, somebody down inside of Mining, and Pack Rat on the bottom floor. So never mind. They are getting aggressive.
Yeah, they're playing reserve.
In terms of utility, they are. Positioning, different story. We are already starting off fantastic in this game. Nat just Nat actually just got the highest impact couple bullets of the round so far. Just completely shot the ADSs in Pixel. Now that position can be very easily cleared out if they can land the utility properly.
It's still the disc, and I think there's still one more maybe ADS there with them.
I think it's behind the
not...
couch, maybe?
Yeah, I think maybe behind the couch somewhere. So it's still some possibility. Okay, no, it's no ADS anymore. So it's just a disc. So he's got 2 disc out probably to try and deny this. So if they do this right now, they can probably destroy that shield right now. But again, that depends on how, coordinated Asylum patients are pushing up so far, and they haven't really done much. They've just jumped down to the red hatch. It's only been a minute. They've jumped down the red hatch. They've, droned out Cigar, droned out what's going on Christmas, and it's going to open the wall and push through. And first things first, can they deal with this Wamai? And actually going to flash him and push him off the shield.
Well, I will say there might have been an opportunity to actually pick up the kill on Snake there. Don't really know if I would call that a missed opportunity. Well, there might be a whiffed opportunity by Soup here. Pack Rat getting aggressive, trying to peek through the flames. Could find one as being a little bit... No, never mind. I was about to say, maybe the Hibana's being a little careless, but there you have Rainbow very carefully watching the holes made inside a bathroom, sees both Pack Rat and Snake both peeking and rotating out, able to pick up a couple damage on that. But of course, see the Goyo still getting aggressive with that C4. He can have massive impact in here, Benny. Are they watching red stairs with those air jabs of those drones? This will be the test.
Yeah, as we tested, they've actually placed the air jab to stop him, but the C4 could be a thing. Because you don't need to hit the stairs to throw a C4 at somebody. But actually, no, the Nomad's watching it from the angle, so this is going to be Pack Rat. Does he see it? He's looking around for the air jab, actually. It's actually Titans on site. They go something to get the kill on Pack Rat to stop the flank, and Plant's going down. Is there a C4 available to stop the Plant? No, there's no C4. Exos gets killed on Rainbow, though, but is nobody... Where's the cover? Oh, actually, no, it's already down. It's not even cover. Doesn't matter, actually. It doesn't even matter at this point, really.
Benny was freaking out for a second, like, oh no, there's no coverage. But yeah, the bomb is already down. Nat is 1 HP. He's the one directly inside, so if a kill is to be picked up here, it will be onto the Yana. And, well, the problem I was about to say is there are 2 players currently on the roof. Titans will drop. We'll land on the noob out to pinch him out with the Yana and see it worked out. But then again, in the 1v3, the person on Skylight is sometimes enough to win that out, depending on if he's aided with the positioning of the second person. That go around, very quick clear of the Pixel position. Nat manages to take out those 2 ADSs or those 3 ADSs actually literally for free. Didn't even have to burn any utility, just shot them repelling up the white window. Fortunately, there was nobody watching it for Soup, or there's a hole made previously, and he just happened to zoom up and catch those as he went up to the roof, so unlucky there. Pretty easy to push back the Wamai. There was a chance to get aggressive, either playing inside a bathroom or peeking Pixel. Could have brought back some of the momentum and stopped Asylum Patient's push, but because Rainbow was watching that hole, he's effectively able to push them back. All of Soup got the control, all of Asylum Patients got the control they needed to make an execute happen pretty quickly. They had players watching the flanks. Everything Soup tried to do to gain momentum in that round was adequately shut down or anticipated by Asylum Patient. So good first round for the attack.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the reason why sometimes teams do play that Aruni castle kind of barricade, because if you give the attacking team that control so easily, they just slowly take that control, push on the site, get the plant down, and then it's up to the the defenders to try and deny it through C4s, through smokes, through whatever indirect denial you have, because otherwise it's like you really can't do at that point. Just given no man on the board too, you can't flank up red, you can't flank up stairs. Kind of difficult at that point. So, wait, did they place ADS in the same places?
Are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yes, they did.
It's the same strat.
So I
What's
guess I guess there's only 2. I thought there was only 2 ADS. Excuse me, 2 ADSs there. I guess they have the 3rd place somewhere else. Unfortunately, I did not see.
Probably bar. I'm assuming cocktail probably.
I would imagine somewhere defending the cocktail position. But yeah, that is a little bit problematic. But thankfully for them, Asylum Patients aren't going for that same white window repel anymore. So those ADSs will be safe. And the part of the reason that Asylum Patients were able to push it so quickly was because of that. We do see Snake also going for a run out, but I believe, if my ears don't deceive me, there is an air jab placed on that window, which Snake likely heard, and will continue to rotate up, try to peek to gain any intel. Don't believe they know his current position, but this is also a gunfight. I would be very surprised if he managed to win once they open that hatch.
Well, let's see this time if they let them maybe go through it, and maybe they C4 from below. Great shot from Snake, though. He just peeks it, and Snows is not ready. I don't know. You wouldn't expect it. That's like Drip does, for God's sakes. That's literally what Drip does. Drip just peeks and you just never expect that.
I wouldn't say that is entirely a Drip play. I feel like Drip is more so like playing aggressive inside the site. But yeah,
I will show you a VOD where you literally did that.
I'm sure you could. But also that is the Hibana they managed to take down. Thankfully, bathroom wall is already open, so one of the key positions that you need to clear out being bathroom, you don't need a hard breacher for, but if you're trying to open any of those 4 panels that lead into the site, that is going to be a problem. Nat will manage to finally trade back, take down Packrat. That's a C4 taken down, but there is some redundancy on the defense in that regard. Waltz has one, Stars has one. They want to play from below, they can, but here we go. We see Asylum Patients doing the exact same thing, not only denying this play for Soup to rotate down here and use those C4s, but also, if they can, catch Snake as he's rotating back.
Yeah, that would be big here. Get rid of that roamer. Give yourselves a man advantage and see if is Rainbow actually aware of it though? Because again, the intel is the problem here. There's only 6 drones, so I'm assuming there's 4 deployed right now. So I'm assuming they have drones to stop their flanks or to at least watch their flanks. Walt's playing White Stairs with him, so this could be a great pincer maneuver by Soup if they do push White Stairs. Because we saw Rainbow by there, but looks like maybe they're actually they're going back. They're just making sure nobody's playing for that C4 from below. See if they can try and deny those anchors in Cocktail. Because otherwise, nobody's really waiting for it. Now it's up to Asylum Patients. They still haven't really cleared out Bathroom either. So now they still have to make this play happen and push their way into sight. But this could be Titans going for misdirection through that heaven window.
Ooh, not getting that kill's massive. If the Sledge is able to get this nade off as well, it could be big, but Snake plays so patiently, able to make the play there and get the kill. But Asylum Patients have worked back the man advantage. They've done what they've needed to. Nat peeks out directly into their spray. That could have been a gunfight that goes the way of the defense, but thankfully works out so the Yana gets lucky, gets that kill, and has 4 for Nat so far. Snake now the only one left in the 1v3. Familiar position from round number 1 that Soup faced previously. He'll rotate up through Bathroom, and there's Nat with the ace, able to hold things down onto the site, moving in and closing out the post plant. He did pretty much everything in terms of positioning in that round, and part of the reason that Asylum Patients managed to bring that one back despite having very minimal control going into that flood.
Yeah, I would say too, the fact that they killed Snows first, they lost to Bana, they couldn't open up Freezer. Thus, they didn't really use much hard breaching that first time, though. I think they did end up opening Freezer, which does cut off a lot of, rotates a lot of line of sights for the defense. But it still led to the fact that, Soup had a bit of advantage there. But at the same point, because they allowed for, then people go downstairs, Rainbow was downstairs below, using those impacts to open up the floor and Cocktail. It kind of should, paint the picture of where they're going for next. And Nat started us off. Nat getting those first 2 picks. He got the ace, of course. He got all the kills, but he starts off getting those picks, and it just starts to tumble farther and farther towards that Cocktail push. And it seems like Soup could not just, I'm not sure they didn't understand, but they just could not catch up. They could not try to stop them happening. Couldn't stop Nat more than anything, really.
That certainly went a long way. Thankfully, now Soup will try a little bit of a different side, go for a little bit of a flavor. Hopefully they can reset the momentum on Kitchen instead of Cocktail. Big thing we're going to see here will be a roam, because of course you have one on Kitchen. You usually need at least some semblance of top floor control. You don't always need it. You can extend it horizontally a little bit and contest that way, but the vertical can be very powerful on the defense, especially if you're going for a freezer plant. So
this is like a default setup.
I would say so. I'd say this is not very crazy whatsoever. Again, if you are going to roam, we usually see the Mute and the Mozzie. Get some jammers on the site, get some jammers on the top floor as well, and really just play and rotate slowly down through. But this is not it might be a default setup, Benny, but this is not a default playstyle. We have a Mozzie and a Cade spawn peeking pretty quickly, and all, in fact, rotating back to site.
Yeah, I guess there's still the Rooney upstairs of Snake, who's still somewhat roaming, but it looks like they went for some aggressive shots, but the only person roaming is not Snake, but the Rooney of Nacho, who's upstairs making rotates through laundry at the moment. So Packrat will join them, and assuming now Asylum Patients will go to work and start clearing the top floors. But with the nomad on the board, the aggression will have to come early from Soup if they're going to stop them. And now the question is, how well can Nacho and Packrat, who may stay up there with them, do on this roam? And really, yeah, it should anything. There's not really a lot on the side of Soup. They're not even horizontally roaming, because you see they reinforced red, they reinforced Freezer as well.
That's what I'm a little bit worried about right now. Obviously, they haven't faced much pressure. In fact, they clear from Asylum Patients is actually pretty slow so far. Only a minute in, and they're just now starting to enter through that top floor. Of course, they should be able to transfer onto the second floor pretty quickly, but there is actually, not I would say concentrated presence. There's not a lot of utility, but there is presence by Soup on this second floor. They will find Packrat, who has constantly been trying to gain a position on that second floor, but oh no. Has Asylum Patients done their due diligence and found some intel? They will. I actually thought he was not going to get that kill. I'm going to be entirely honest. And he is eventually traded out. And this is sort of the downfall of the strategy Soup are going for. Not a lot of utility concentrated to extend outside. Not a lot of utility or really team play on that second floor either. It's kind of the worst part of 2 different setups for Soup right now. and they paid on both fronts.
Yeah, and if they can get rid of Snake, who's only one really off site, and they can just create that vertical pressure with the sledge, because X-Stars is playing inside of kitchen cooking, so it's at that point, it's like he's gonna have to leave anyway, and they've reinforced all the walls. C4 goes off, doesn't kill anybody, unfortunately. Snake's still playing bar at the moment, so he's gonna probably be the next defender. Actually, no, is he playing bar? No, he's playing bunker, actually. So he's playing bunker, and X-Star's taking much damage from above, so this is the issue with this setup. He goes down, like I was saying before, so now at this point, the last two members are just stuck below. Great C4 from Snake, at least, just try and even up the score, at least, bring it back, but this is the issue. Wow, what a grenade. That was a great grenade.
I was literally about to say that, hey, they do still have 3 smoke canisters, so maybe they can choke out the freezer drop, but no, unfortunately, he's taken down. Snake will peek, does find Rainbow. He does know that there is a freezer drop and that there's likely one more, so right now he could take this one with Rainbow and win it out depending on the verticality, but no, never mind. Snows just wins that one out. 3 rounds in a row for Asylum Patience. Benny, you hit the nail on the head as we started to get to the final 45 seconds. There was no utility on that horizontal floor, and while there was a roam upstairs, so you might not need it nearly as much, it was very hectic, very uncoordinated, and by 2 minutes remaining, it was literally just Nacho sitting inside a dining.
Did you sell me short in this whole soup thing?
What do you mean? Let me tell you short.
Oh, it is a silence map pick, so I can't go for that just yet.
Yeah, this is 4/5 of Fernie's Tacos. They were the Cafe Demons allegedly.
Allegedly, so maybe this is what it is pretty much at this point. So
yeah.
I guess
they lose the other 2 7-0.
Yeah, if they go to the next map and it's still happening, then I will accuse you of that. But so far, yeah, it's just not like Soup have not shown anything creative. They haven't shown any of the real strats. Like the strat book seems very
not even creative. They're just not even doing the at least in terms like strategically, just running defaults. Not even the bare minimum.
Yeah, I don't. It's like I guess their strat book is a page and it says go shoot people. I don't know, because so far I haven't really seen much. At least this time they are trying to go with that expected strat where you open up, you play horizontally, you open up the wall in freezer, open up the wall in red. This is expected. It's still not totally creative, but it's still better than playing like they did before, because that anchor strat is almost gives you something casual, for God's sakes.
Well, this is a qualifier. We're not asking for Picasso or Rembrandt. We're not asking for creativity.
Yeah.
We're just asking for you to play the basics, and if you want to go crazy, go for the frags. Feel free. Again, if there is ever an opportunity, it is a qualifier, and this is what we need to see. Definitely the big fault last round was strategically not having enough utility concentrated to either hold the second floor, or that wasn't more so utility, that was just kind of team play. But in terms of the bottom floor, yeah, not enough utility to hold that freezer drop or the bottom of freezer stairs. This go around, good adaptation by Soup, and we will see Nacho get aggressive once again, but he quickly backs off. Not exactly a gunfight that favors him, just based on the wonky angle of that. Snake also in a good position to anticipate the C4 on Noob Hatch, but he blows it a bit too quickly, and funny enough, actually Titans was more so a little bit slow to go for that hatch, maybe anticipating the C4.
Yeah, they're trying to get aggressive. They're trying to just, make Asylum Patience take their time, or at least beware of these roamers, which so far they are. Now Asylum Patience have slowed down and droning things out, and the Mozzie pests are important here. But he's getting shot from the side, though. One person's already pushed their way through that doorway and pushing the point into pillars. Snake will go down to Nat, who's pushed all the way into pillars. Great shot. Great start work from Asylum Patience on their intel, and able to pinch out Snake and deal with that first roamer. And now at this point, I don't know if there's a second roamer on the board, but this is that horizontal roam where now they have to go and push downstairs, transition to the first floor, and deal with those horizontal spots by Soup, which usually sees expected on a cafe, really.
Kind of a misplay by Snake there, of course. He likely was playing his life, but he knows Nat is inside. At least I think he does. Maybe he thought he was outside the door, rotated into reading, but but he got shot in the back. But he got shot in the back sprinting away. Didn't even hold the angle. So a little bit of a curious engagement there, but hey, maybe I'm just being a bit negative. That's at least how I'm reading it. That does mean, though, that even though they do take down Snake, 1:10 seconds left for Asylum Patience to put down, or to move down, and we do have this Cade reinforcing the freezer hatch. So this could, in and of itself, that utility placed on the hatch, waste a fair bit of time for Asylum Patience trying to transfer down, because they have to try to find that electric claw and burn it, which so far has been unsuccessful. We'll continue to hold that hatch, and Nacho is now also looking to not necessarily make a play up red stairs, but to hold that angle and wait to see if they rotate down and get a bit careless. The C4 will manage to find a trade, but no, Flipper anticipates somebody playing on those red stairs. He peeks and is able to win the fight, but that freezer hatch is still solid. So if the defense gets aggressive, Asylum Patience won't even need to open it. If Packrat, who has now isolated himself completely inside of Small Bay, gets taken down, you'll need to open that hatch. You can flood, and it's all on Waltz and Stars to clutch the 2v4.
I totally agree. Now they don't need to open the walls. They've gotten the kills they need. They've gotten the territory they need. But Waltz there, great shots. But dude, X, that was X Stars. He actually gets Flipper in the background. Nat though does refrag, but now it's Waltz in a 1v2. Titans will finish him off from above, and that was still, hey, frag wise, I still think they're doing pretty good. But just strategically wise, they're just giving up too much to them.
I think that was also a good rotate by Asylum Patience that you saw there. They were trying to open up that freezer hatch. They were getting so low on time. They just said, okay, if we get these picks, we should probably rotate to Bakery. They do lose one, they find another inside the site because of that verticality. And not only that, they find Nacho on red stairs, excuse me, that's important, not in the site. So when they do go for the rotate to Bakery, based on how Packrat had positioned himself, not only was he isolated away from the rest of his team, but he was literally in the middle of a pinch and a crossfire, in front of the window, in front of the Bakery door as well. It's very difficult to win that position. You have to win your fight with that small bake player on the window in the hopes of potentially getting out, and that just simply did not happen. So Bakery rotate, likely the reason that Asylum Patience won that round, and also some fortuitous positioning going against the way of Soup because of that late rotation.
Yeah, I just think, like, so far, I think Soup's shown some great gunplay, but when it comes to just strategic positioning and playing aggressive as a team, they've just not been doing it well. They've been getting pushed out, isolated. The Romans get isolated by Asylum Patience most of the time, and they haven't been getting away with just trying to play that aggression in the early round. Sure, I say like mid to late round, some of those last anchors on Soup have been doing their job and trying their best to try and bring it back, but it's just not been enough in these 4 rounds.
And also the problem here, and now, so obviously they've lost, they've defended 2 of the primary sites twice, lost them every time. They now have to go to Reading, which lives and dies by this roam upstairs. And so far, Soup has struggled to make anything even remotely close to a roam or an extension work on any of the sites.
Yep.
And now they have to do a site where that is the defining factor. Very worrying.
Hey, if they just kill Titans, it'd be fine.
True.
They just got to make sure they know where Titans is at all times and kill them. Easy, right? Easy peasy.
Well,
Titans
there are breach charges as well, so.
Yeah, but that's always
Rainbow.
difficult. Only 3. And, well, Nat gets the first pick on the Packrat downstairs, and they're actually... he's dead. He's so dead.
So, Rome not working very well so far. I think we can all come to that conclusion. It is still alive. However, as you can see, based on the man advantage, they can actually make a flood into the site work because they realize they actually haven't killed either of the 2 players who were on that roam. Stars is rotated now, but Nacho's still up above. And a massive run out coming from the Alibi, but only 2 kills for him is now boils down to a 2v2. Because, I don't know, of course it does. Why not? If you want to look at how Soup win this round, it will be that Alibi jumping out and making that play. Now that we're in the 2v2,
I would say too, yeah. That was a really good choice, though. The fact that they didn't ever go for the full clear,
so
they didn't. Yeah, he waltz. Yeah, he's right. He's the perfect time.
Oh my lord.
Oh, what great timing for Waltz.
Are you kidding me? This is the round they win.
Hey,
This is the round they win.
Let's hope they win this. Like, just don't throw it. Just stay. You have the man advantage. You know where he is. Just play together. Actually, play with the diffusers. I don't know if he doesn't have the diffuser anyway. So at this point, just don't give him the kills. Don't give him the kills.
Well, Banshee will give away the position of Rainbow. He'll shoot it. Does have 1:10 seconds left, but I imagine recovering that diffuser is not in the cards for the Zofia right now. There is 1 player still up above. Thankfully for him, not really in a position to counter all that much since he is playing close to the diffuser. So he could try and isolate a 1v1 against the Malusi, but there's also a deployable shield looking directly at him. He won't manage to destroy it, but right now the Malusi, never mind, just rotates, sits directly on the wall, and now this has gone from nigh unwinnable to a potential comeback and 1v2 in the making. Waltz has done a good job so far of just playing the diffuser, not getting over aggressive, but now Rainbow has a lot of time and a drone as well to find the final position of the Goyo.
If he just puts it in weights and just play off the drone.
Well, here's the question. Goyo laying prone on right stairs right now. Did not drone him. That is the important part. He's going to recover that diffuser. And the Goyo has now rotated off of his position, sitting on top right, but he's watching the wrong way. Oh no, this could completely unravel. Does the drone hear him? There's a shield looking directly his way, but he runs off. He's trying not to play it, trying not to take the fight and play the time instead. He rotates all the way back down. Did he think that he dropped?
What?
Okay. I'm guessing that he thought that he dropped.
I guess
Maybe?
so, but he didn't. Did he hear a drop noise? Why did he think that?
Maybe he was trying to cut him off in case he hopped off the balcony.
Like, you have to go for the kill. I get that because you have no time left. Like, it makes
No,
sense.
yeah,
Like, you
no,
have
yeah.
to chase him.
I'm not.
You have to
that.
chase
You
him
need
in
to
that
chase him, yeah.
situation. Yeah, like you have to chase him, but like, again, it doesn't matter anyway. Either way, like the point of that round, unfortunately, is just the fact that, well, one, so Asylum Patients get the first pick. That's the big thing there. They get the pick, they give the advantage, and that kind of gives them it not really forces them, but it kind of gives them the leeway. Hey, we can go for straight for sight because we've gotten the picks. We have the man advantage, so they don't go for the top floor roam clear. They don't really need to because they don't think they need to because they have you don't have to have man advantage to 3v5. Actually, was it 2v5 actually? It was a 2v5 or 3v5. But they had the advantage and they don't go clear. Nacho's still playing Christmas, and Nacho gets the
3v5.
perfect chance, jumps out the window, kills 2. Sure, he can force he gets traded back, but killing 2 and getting traded back on top of another person dying, but it's in a 2v2. You have the advantage. And on top of the fact that they hadn't cleared top floor, they didn't have intel on where Waltz was playing Whitehall. He has the advantage knowing that he hears the Habana running upstairs, frantically trying to get things done. Kills the person with the diffuser. The fuser's upstairs on top floor. Now it's a 2v1. Unfortunately, well, the other person, the Malusi, gets killed out because they get their Vulcan shield in front of them gets destroyed. They back off to a corner that's kind of in the middle of the room, which was kind of weird to me, but they get killed out, makes it a 1v1. But it's 49 seconds, so still some time for Rainbow to try and make it happen. But unfortunately, again, intel's the problem. He doesn't know exactly where the Royal is. He doesn't know where Waltz is on the map. He's got to find the diffuser in that time and take it back. And as soon as time he gets the diffuser, it's like 15 seconds left. Or actually, it was like 10 more. It was like 10 seconds left. He sees Waltz run away. You have to go after him. That's all you can do.
Well, and going here to focus a bit more on this round, we'll see an adjustment coming out from Soup. We see Packrat rotating to the Pulse. Not how I expected him to try and use this C4 right away, but hey, go for it, King. Live your truth. But one big problem that Soup has had trying to get aggressive has been trying to gain that intel on the players pushing in, but right now there might be some intel lacking in a key area. Nobody playing inside of Kochek gives a free power position to Rainbow, and now Flipper as well can immediately jump into Small Bake and cut off this bottom red stairs. Packrat is literally preoccupied with getting his C4 off of the hatch. Snake as well on white stairs. It is an effective 5v3 on the site right now, and everyone from Asylum Patients is moving in, and now they have the opening pick as well.
Yeah, and especially the Nomad as well, they can just cut off the rotations with those air jabs, and they can just watch Rainbow with another kill on its own. He gets out X stars. Packrat does have information using the cardiac sensor, but again, is their air jab ready? Do they have these stairs covered? I'm assuming they do. I'm pretty sure they have intel on that point. The air and the min advantage. Waltz, great shots on the Nat though. He does get traded up by Rainbow. Rainbow tries to jump in the site in the bunker, but Flipper's there. Oh no, Nacho's there. Stop him. Flipper out with his Packrat up to Nacho in a 1v3. What intel does he have in his name? He's looking around, trying to find if he can like sit in a corner and wait for some intel from his team. Snows begins playing the diffuser, probably in a bunker with his team, actually behind the bomb chassis. Nacho with a great shot on the Titans. He's getting a 1v2. Plank goes down. And that question is, does he know someone's in double door to his left, ready to just hit the cross? Oh, he pre-fires it. Does he do? Maybe.
He's 1 HP. That's the problem though, is because he has to somehow fight his way out of a crossfire on literally 1 bullet away from death. And at the moment, one player for Asylum Patients is rotating all the way back into Christmas. The other is still in the site behind the bomb chassis, but they will have the info, especially if, well, he's passed through an alibi, gives the Hibana the audio cue that he's pushing up. Does he know that he's playing close in this corner? Tries to go with the pre-fire. Oh my god, manages to hit it! But there's Flipper playing for the trade, and exactly what happened. That came a little bit too close to for comfort for Asylum Patients, but they secure the 5-1-half on Cafe Attack, and that is what you need. Because normally you might say, normally you might say, hey, maybe Soup can run it up on the attack. You know, they can get aggressive, they can flood, but they have shown problems with coordination and T-play as well, which are far more important on the attack than the defense at times.
That's more than enough to have a 5-1-half on Cafe. That is
Should be.
That is a luxury at this point. Asylum Patients have. Let's hope they don't waste luxury though. Don't throw it away. Oh, we go to kitchen service, kitchen cooking for our first site for Asylum Patients. Like you said, Soup, they've shown gunplay. They've shown they have the talent to be here. But it's just, again, like the team cohesion, the know to play with each other, to play for trades, to play that aggression as a team, well, just seems to be lacking. And they want to go for that kind of play style. They want to go for that, full court press. Maybe not full court, but they want to go for that aggression play style where you're just taking fights, getting in the face of the enemy. Well, they just weren't doing it well as a team in those rounds. So
Feels like sometimes they're not taking smart fights, and even when they take the smart fights, they're just playing by themselves.
Yeah.
Not playing together. Thankfully for Asylum Patients, they also now have the comfort of playing on defense, and since they maybe are a bit more of a coordinated 5-stack, I am assuming that Soup, I don't know if they could be a coordinated 5. I'm not sure. Again, that's a lack of knowledge on my part. That's my own fault. But Asylum Patients, even though Snows is new on the roster, they have that more coordination just because they are an established team who has been playing at a T2 level for an extended period of time. Snows is also a very promising T3 player, now T2 player. It's sometimes part of the game going up against one of those teams is you have to fight against that coordination. But the way you do that is set the pace. And Soup tried to do that at times, but the aggression always seemed to be a little bit miscalculated. Now going on the defense as well, that's something that Asylum Patients can do really well. Players like Nat, who always seem to be on at the right times, playing Vigil alongside Rainbow on the Mozzie, can play aggressively on that top floor and set the pace and make it difficult for Soup to get inside the building. And that could be the game plan for securing match point and potentially pushing for a win later.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be seen. Like on the defense here, we've already seen Asylum Patients do well in the attack. They played well together. Let's see if they can play well on the defense. And on the first one against Snakes, he's gonna see one player. Does he know the Mozzie though is in bathroom for that cross? Nachos come behind him though, so this could be a good way to get rid of Rainbow. But Nat playing well takes out Strafe. There's one part of that pinch onto the Mozzie of Rainbow is not there. Rainbow throws a C4. And can he get a kill though? Off of he can still get a kill with the C4. He does get refragged by X-Star, but still that play, there was 2 members inside of Christmas. He still was able to take out one.
Now, Packrat on low HP as well, and Soup do have a fair bit of utility still. They have a couple nades for X-Stars, but most importantly, that soft breach. They have the hard breach as well. I don't know if the freezer hatch is open or not. I imagine that it is. If it is, well, let's check. Okay, yeah, it is open, so you don't need to worry about hard breaching there. So if you want to rotate later on, you can, but you don't have to worry about opening that up and potentially delaying even more time. The one thing I'm worried about here, though, is there is still a C4 for Asylum Patients. Flipper has one right now, and depending on where X-Stars decides to go, if they lose him as well, this is match point for Asylum Patients.
I 100% agree. And it looks like right now they're opening it up. They just gotta be careful about where they're opening up these holes. And well, they still have, the soft breach, the utility to stop any kind of flanks. Nat's going up red stairs, but I'm assuming there's an air jab ready for him at the top of the stairs. We've also opened up above, code check to make sure nobody can rotate through that hall. And it looks like that was something in the background here. Smoke canister go off in the background towards, freezer. Actually can't drop it. C4 thrown by Flipper. Does he know? Oh, nope. No opening by X-Stars, so he'll evade that C4 for the moment. But now time is ticking. It's slowly falling apart here for Soup. This could be match point. They've got to bring it together in these last, this last minute here for the team.
Nade coming out from X-Stars will go down. Don't believe it'll find anything for Asylum Patients, but Nat continues to add insult to injury. Even rotates up to push for more. No stars up there on 1 HP as well. In all likelihood, he might die, but the Sledge doesn't even know. He goes for the peek, and Nat catches him right off guard. 3 kills for him, and now Waltz all alone has to try and play for the win in the 1v4, but he can't even see Flipper as he puts a bullet right into his face. Match point for Asylum Patients, and if we wanted to see them set the pace, not only in the overall trend, but on their defensive setups as well, Asylum Patients did it perfectly that go-around.
Yeah, I would say that was a great, just the connection between the two roamers. They were playing off of each other. One was making sure they had their back. You saw it was the first pick. It was, they were trying to push towards White, trying to get the pinch onto the Mozzie playing in bathroom. But they had, they were playing, Nat was playing it well, playing White stairs, expecting someone to push from Cocktail towards White, gets the refrag, and then even then after that, the Mozzie plays off of it. C4 is the wall. Even though those 2 people in Christmas still gets a kill, gets a 1-for-1 pick, and then that's it. And then they're man advantage. And now it's up to Soup at that point to try and make a play. And unfortunately, they don't have quite the utility or manpower at that point to really make a play. They're just trying to find something to go off of it. It's difficult at times.
Now all they have to do is replicate that strategy or something like it one more time, and they will win their map pick, 7-1. They go onto their opponents with pep in their step, the momentum, the wind at their back, feeling pretty good about themselves. And switching to reading as well, bit of dire straits for Soup, because we just saw how Asylum Patients, only with 2 players playing off each other, not even that much in terms of utility or reinforcements dedicated them, were able to win around and basically open things up dominantly with Asylum Patients at the lead. This go around, there's going to be more utility. There might be more predictable. Soup won't have to, run out and say, oh, it's reading. Are they extending up into cocktail? They will know that they are extending up there, so there is some predictability there. Now they have more utility, more teammates who can play off each other, and in the first round, that was something that Soup struggled to clear, and playing off each other was something Soup struggled to do for their entire defensive half. So this is a very problematic site for Soup to go to based on the play they have exhibited, or for Soup to attack based on the play they've exhibited in the map so far.
Hey, at least it'll be easier to drone.
That's true. They will know that there are people in cocktail. Don't know how many. They will know that there will be people there.
Yeah, so they're not gonna be totally caught off guard with somebody in bathroom or one playing on white stairs. So first and foremost, they're gonna open up the hatches, drop down to red, pre-fire to make sure nobody's there. Actually, he's pre-fires the barricade, and they're gonna drone out Christmas, drone out who's here, and make the way down. The question is, are they going to roam clear though? Are they gonna see if they're actually gonna do it, or are they gonna push straight maybe to train and go for their play from train into sight? But there's droning out Christmas, opening all his barricades, and seeing what they can do. And it's actually surprising how many times they barricade though. Actually, they barricade like 3 doors.
And catch people off guard sometimes. Ooh, missed opportunity by Nat there, getting aggressive. Could have very, very easily lost his fight to Snake as well. A bit of a 50-50 right there, but thankfully neither player comes away with their life lost. But that does mean it favors the defense. Though Mike can just continue putting magnets up on cocktail balcony, burning these flashbangs, burning all of the projectile utility that Soup send their way. And that is, of course, always going to be a benefit for the defense. But we do have Waltz slowly pushing up inside of Freezer with the diffuser, a little bit worrying, but he'll use some of his X-Kairos to put more pressure onto the defense. Likely Nat playing in this position or anybody playing on top white. Yana as well. Snake pushing up long bar in tandem with that Hibana. Now one is concussed, and it is Soup to come away with the first pick. They take down Flipper on that mute. C4 taken down. No more options. Only the smokes for that post plant. And well, now the Jaeger fallen as well. It's quickly starting to go in Soup's favor, but not nearly as dramatically so. A 1v3 will finally manifest, and Snow is the only one left. There is intel that there's somebody on that top floor, likely two in that position. No, it's just the Yana not looking his way. Rotate down immediately, but that's exactly what Super doing as well. One is rotated down red with another at the freezer drop as well. That could easily pinch him off. Never mind. Rotates down, isn't at all aware of the Malusi's position.
Okay.
He goes for the repeak, likely ill-advised, especially because of the low HP. That round was in all likelihood lost, but could have been an opportunity to secure the 7-1 there had he just maybe pulled back and reloaded.
Thank God they won that.
Very hectic.
That was a very hectic round. But that was, again, that just shows the glimmer of hope in Soup and how well the gunplay is, because they played together and they pushed together through bar as a team to make sure they can deal with those roamers inside a cocktail. And you saw what happened. They dealt with most of those roamers. They dealt with, well, maybe, so I say every single roamer they dealt with on that play. So it just goes to show that Soup, they have the, say, foundations. Maybe foundations. I'm not sure foundations is the right way to put it, but they have the foundations of what could be a good team here when they play together and play as a team. So this could be a good start. We go back to Bar and Cocktail, though. Actually, not back to the first time for Asylum Patience. We go to Bar and Cocktail for the first time for them on their top floor defense.
It is the improvement that we wanted to see out of them. Was something a little bit more coordinated, and might be a little bit late on their opponent's map pick, but hey, it is still only map 1 of the series, so I wouldn't say the latest and far too late at that. Cocktail site is the next one we will go to. See the setup I mentioned earlier. You have the castle barricade and the Aruni gate on that our double doors. Somebody playing at the human door. That's the setup we will see by Asylum Patience in this round in particular. Likely someone maybe play aggressively inside of Christmas, or we could just see somebody playing behind that shield. It really depends. We will definitely see someone behind that shield, and something a little bit similar to what Soup did, just with the addition of that Aruni gate and that humidor play. Don't know. We actually haven't seen Snows put the castle barricade there yet, and it is getting a little bit late in the round, but now he's rotating over, so we'll see him put that up, and the setup I mentioned will manifest.
Yeah, I'm assuming at this point it'll probably be either Rainbow or Flipper will play towards Cigar and play for that shotgun to deny a drop into that red hatch or the red stairs. And that's usually what we always see from these teams, and now I have to see if, Soup can actually do what other teams can't apparently do and, get rid of the castle barricade and the Aruni laser gate. But so far, Titan's down below, roaming by himself, maybe just, starting off and seeing if anybody's aggressing to a flip with him as well, actually. So it's some early, just, playing downstairs, see if they can find any kind of early aggression from the side of Soup. And also, having a little hole below him, actually, see if he can spot player pushing through that red hole below. But now first thing is first, can they deal with this extension to Cigar? Can they deal with this pixel play from the side of Silent Patience? Soup's got to show us that coordination once again.
already losing some drones to a mute jammer placed on that double panel. Not going to be too much of a problem overall. They can pretty easily dispatch that. And Nat getting a bit over-aggressive behind that shield right now. They aren't even in a position to... Well, I was going to say take him down, and now he's pushing for one more at that. Still don't think this is exactly the best play, especially for your Pixel player. I would just play behind that shield, but will get a one onto the flank watch, who I highly doubt used any or much of his air jabs at all at this point in the round. So good job by Nat to come away with that kill, and there's no progress by Soup at clearing out the Aruni. No progress clearing out the smoke. And over half the round is gone. They will manage to find a pick on the snows, but still the bulk of Asylum Patient's defense still fully intact.
Yeah, maybe Nat's playing aggressive to try and make it, make it difficult to open up that castle barricade, which I think they just did. So now Rainbow's gonna leave. He's getting pre-fired. Nobody's on the cutoff though. Nobody's playing that red window, so he's able to get away safely. And so they've at least, for the moment, they've got rid of that first obstacle, which was that Sakaar extension. But now they still have to deal with Pixel, which they haven't done so far. And that still is just crazy. And yeah, they haven't got the mute jammer either, so they can't open up into piano from red. So now this is difficult. Where now Super have to play it out, and they only have a minute left. They only have so much time left, and they've barely got anything done.
And also, they only have 3 drones left, albeit 2 of them are onto a player that is alive, but you can already see it biting them at the moment. Nat just swings out of bathroom. Nacho looking the complete opposite direction, not even towards the Aruni, who peeks him. 4v3, not completely unwinnable, but the utility on the side of Asylum Patients is still looking better. 2 smoke canisters, 1 C4, and 4 members who can all watch Soup, who are basically forced to push in doorways. This should be good. Snake moving up to the white stairs, and again, another bit of a lack of intel. Trying to make a play, trying to hit from the back, but he's simply not aware of that player. It all rounds out. Nat gets 3 in the round, maybe 4 overall, and Asylum Patients get a 7, I believe, 2 on their 7-2 on their own map pick. So it does, we'll say, could be potential for Soup to bring it to 3 maps, but especially after that one. That wasn't just a symptom of Asylum Patients being a great cafe team. There are definitely some problems there that Soup just did not have answers for.
Yeah, there are definitely some fundamental issues there that it just seemed like they weren't, as I would always say, we say all the time, dotting their I's, crossing their T's. They were just trying to go for some flashy plays, trying to do something crazy without really having either the teamwork or the coordination to do it correctly without getting punished, which is what a lot of times they were doing. That was Asylum Patients punishing Soup left and right, again and again. So it just
it is a bit unfortunate, at least to set the pace starting out, but again, keep in mind, it is a Asylum Patients map pick. Cafe was also one of the maps that was hyped up for the core of this roster's Fernie's Tacos. Is one of their best maps. So it is not, by any stretch of the imagination, impossible for Soup to come back, win the next map. Their map pick of, I believe it's Oregon, is the second map, then Bill is the decider. It's very possible. However, again, as Benny said, there are some problems there. But we will be taking a quick break. Before we go, do want to again shout out one of our sponsors of Mike and Ike's before we do. Mention them at the top of the show, sponsor our pre-show segment, but to also shout them out here. So far, it seems to be that Asylum Patients are the team that you want to emulate by by eating Mike and Ike's. And also, I think we did mention, actually, Benny, Nat dropped a 17 bomb there. So he actually was a big reason why Super losing that.
Hey, he's probably eating some sour Mike and Ike's to get himself ready for that game. And he's probably, he had some Mike and Ike's, he powered up and just slamming. They got the ace too on top of it. He was doing very well for his team.
He was doing quite well. And again, highly doubt that Nat will drop another 17 bomb on map number 2. I imagine we'll see him quiet down a little bit, and maybe some players on Soup power up a little bit more if they do want to eat Mike and Ike's. But until then, we're going to take a quick break, so do not close out that browser. We have map number 2 of Oregon coming up in just a couple minutes.
Welcome to the NerdStreet Winter Championships, featuring SCS6, a yearly open tournament series hosting the best players and teams North America has to offer, culminating in a community favorite, the Pro-Am. So let's discuss format. During the Winter Champs season, SCS6 will consist of 2 stages, where each stage begins with 2 open qualifiers. Once Stage 1 is complete, there will be an additional tournament offering 1 more qualification spot prior to Stage 2. Through participating in SCS6, players will acquire leaderboard points and cash prizing. The winning teams from Stage 1 and 2, as well as the additional tournament, will qualify for the Pro-Am. The top 2 teams from the leaderboard will also qualify. As we approach the end of the season, the final qualification spot will be determined through a last chance qualifier. The Grand Finals of the Winter Champs SCS6 will feature the return of the Pro-Am, where the top amateur teams have an opportunity to define their talent against the North American Pro League. But in the end, only one team will be crowned Winter Champs. Sign up today and make history.
Seconds left. It's gonna come down.
Favor make it a third as he looks up. Make it up. Finds the draw three. Stunning here from.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second closed qualifier for SCS Season 6. I am Lynx, joined by Benny. If you missed it, we got Map 1 underway and finished, and it went the way of Asylum patients, who are now 1-0 in the series. Has some replays to show you what happened if you did miss it. It was a Maverick Thatcher ban. Cade was played. Oddly enough, Benny, you'd think with the Cade on the board for the defense, they would fare a lot better, but that really didn't happen for Soup, did it?
No, Soup, unfortunately, even with that, Soup tried to play that anchor play, but also tried to do some one-off aggressive plays, and it bit them in the butt every single time.
Yeah, did not go their way. Did not go their way whatsoever. Didn't really play off the Cade. Actually, saw Pack Rat getting very aggressive on the Cade, putting his Electro Claws inside of sight, then rotating off. And I will say, going to map number 2 of Oregon, if Thatcher and Nav is banned and Cade is up, might even fare them a little bit better on Oregon just because of the lack of verticality, but it was not at all a pleasant sight to watch Soup on their defense. And even though Oregon might be a little bit more defender-sided, don't really know how well that's going to transfer based on some of the flaws they had on their defense. Lack of team play, lack of cohesion, a bit of uncoordinated aggression, all seem to be problematic for Soup. We'll see if that manages to change in between maps number 1 and 2. Doubt they're starting on the attack. Well, I guess it's their map pick, so they could be starting out on the attack. So hopefully maybe they're a little bit better than we saw on Cafe Benny. You only saw a couple rounds of their attacks. Maybe they're really something spectacular once they get in the groove.
Maybe, yeah. Again, it's going to be, you talked about before, it doesn't matter what side they're on. There are some very, unfortunately, some very big problems, some big flaws coming from their side when it comes to just the basics, and maybe different Oregon. I kind of think Oregon might be easier for them to coordinate, to be, cohesive as a team. But I'm, not sure. I haven't seen their Oregon before, and I'm hoping something's different, before I, accuse Lynx of selling me short.
I mean, I wasn't selling you short. I think I might have just been overhyping Soup a little bit. That might be my fault, depending on how this map goes out. So I would like to clarify my position just a little bit before Benny roasts me live on broadcast. We are getting into it. As you can tell, Soup are starting on the defense, so they will have the advantage of getting to be a little bit more comfortable on Oregon defenses first. Will they go the same Thatcher map ban they did previously? Yes, that they will. They will ban the Maverick just like they did on Cafe. What I'm interested to see, will Asylum Patience ban the Cade instead? Because if they also ban the Thatcher and leave Cade up, sure, it didn't work too well for Soup previously, but Oregon is a little bit of a different beast than Cafe.
Yeah, it's going to make it more difficult on a lot of sites when it comes to just having a Kaid without, it's just going to force them to bring, without Maverick either, it's going to be forcing them to bring a Buck, or forcing them to bring to go below and open up things to try and deal with these Electro Claws, but there we go, exactly. Kaid goes down first, and now it leaves a choice for Soup, though. Do they want to keep the Valkyrie? Do they want to bring a Mirror? What do they want to bring here of those ops that are usually banned because of how powerful they can be?
I would imagine, honestly, it could go either way. They like to get it. Okay, well, it will be the Valkyrie. I was going to say they like to get aggressive, so I could see them banning the Mira and instead going with the Valk. They did also ban Mira on Cafe, but in this case, they do ban the Valk, so maybe we'll see them make use of that Mira, focus a bit more on that on-site play, but at the same time, I believe it was actually Asylum Patients who, coincidentally enough, had a Mira setup in Oregon that was actually pretty good, all things considered. Team didn't exactly have the best record, but there was a strat they had with a Mira setup inside a kitchen, I believe on a dorms defense, looking into like split and meeting. It actually went pretty well, so might be a bit dangerous depending on if Asylum Patients have done their homework, but it is something that's Soup like and something they will bring out in the very first round. You see Walt 6 picking it from the Goyo to the Mira.
Oh, well, let's see how they can deal with this Mirror on the side of Asylum's Patience. And really, we'll go, of course, we're going to dorms first. And I wonder, is this Mirror going to be facing into attic, or is it going to be facing... Oh, it looks like it's facing attic. Have we seen this Mirror, actually? People were roasting it on Twitter, actually.
I did see some... I think it was a Senville tweet where somebody was...
Oh, yeah, it was it was, I think it was R6 TM's... Oh, no, it was FPL or something like that, FPLC or something like that, where he did this strat, and everyone is roasting him for doing it.
I think it was Doc who put the Mirror there. I don't really know. I
can't remember. I know they this tweet. Yeah, I remember that tweet got went like crazy because people were like, why would you put a Mirror there? Nobody's gonna push it, because usually it's like, it makes sense that they push attic because then you can have some way to deal with the attic pressure. So like, we'll see. I guess we'll see if this Mirror does play out well for Soup on this. And well, we're on a top floor defense, and without the Maverick, then without the Kaid, it shouldn't be too difficult to open up these these walls into games and the walls into attic. It shouldn't be too difficult for them. We'll see what happens though.
Well, you also saw some anticipation by Flipper 6 picking to the Twitch as well, maybe anticipating that a Mira might come out. Twitch, obviously a very direct counter to the Mira. You can just drive a drone in and pop those little like red, I don't know what you call them, they're almost just like canisters.
Yeah, it's pressurized care. It's like, I think it's just canister like you see.
Something like that. You know what I'm talking about. If you pop it, the Mirror window falls. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There is a mute on the board as well, so the Twitch drones might not be as easy to find, but might not even matter, the utility, because Titans and Nat both quickly taking control inside of Trophy and Master Bedroom, seeing that there's nobody positioned over there. In fact, most of the defense, or half the defense, is positioned downstairs inside of the kitchen, contesting the small tower side. They say, hey, let's not push that whatsoever. They're setting up their entire setup downstairs to anticipate that push. If we don't push that way, they're just kind of out of luck. They'll have to either rotate over, try to find an angle. Until then, we'll get our control over here and do the work we need to.
It does kind of leave stage for C4 though. You see him below. Packrat has a C4 available, and if he gets intel from his team, he could try and stop this play whatsoever. Also, they can throw C4s over the attic one. This is the first C4 onto Flipper. Down he goes. Actually, the person in garage. It wasn't someone upstairs even. It was the person in garage who maybe was playing to try and cut off those players downstairs. And now Titan does see one shot on the Packrat, but can't finish him off, unfortunately. But through the wall, knows he's there. Great shots from Titan. And now it's a 4v4. And still at this point, you know the play from side of Asylum Patience. How is Soup going to respond? Because they understand that plays mostly coming from, well, all of it's coming from this master side.
There is still a lot of utility being expended, so while they are on this master side, Asylum Patients are doing a very good job of clearing out this part of the map. I am a little bit concerned. It is a little bit one-dimensional right now, but right as I say that, actually, if you look, there are currently some players who are rotating over to Attic to put pressure on that area as well. So this is I'd say the proper amount of dimensions coming through, and even, wow, amazingly, Rainbow manages to make that happen, but oh no, a miscommunication! The nade takes down Rainbow, but it might not even matter in the end. The only one left is Nacho, who is all the way down on that first floor, has to rotate up right, spots the Ana, and loses the fight despite that information. Bit of a hectic and, dare I even say, a bit of a poorly communicated execute. Maybe there was just, honestly, that nade might have just been unlucky. Rainbow pushes in, gets blown up. But overall, when it came to the push inside of Master Bedroom, which was the focal point, that is what they focused on. That is what worked well and got them the round.
I think it was hectic because of the fact that they rushed into, to bed in the Kid Master because they saw a flaw, they saw an opening. So like, we're gonna take straight control of Master, take control of Armory, take control of that side of the map immediately, knowing there's no extension, there's no pressure coming from Soup on that side of the map. Let's go for it. And they get that control, they open up, but then they're like, okay, we can't just do this. We need to keep people go to Attic, and that's what they do. They have people go to Big Tower late, and it was definitely, as you said, it was chaotic, it was hectic, it was kind of last second from that team. As you, of course, you saw the team kill. Titan throws a grenade, thinking that someone's still playing Swamp. And Rainbow just runs into the grenade.
Someone playing Swamp. Just so happens that once Rainbow killed him, he was the only one left.
he was playing Swamp in the end.
That's true. He was the one playing Swamp. Yeah.
And in the end, it was like it was funny because someone's playing Swamp, but why is the mirror there then if someone's gonna play Swamp?
Well, I can still what I can't appreciate, at least, Asylum Patience, you only really need to get 2 wins on Oregon. If you can win those tertiary sites, you're all good. They've now won a primary site on Dorms, and it wasn't particularly close, unfortunate if you're Soup. Able to get the momentum very quickly because of that flaw. It looks like Soup are making some adjustments. We do see Packrat down below, who could still be playing for that C4, but it looks like we might be seeing them play a little bit closer, but right as I say that, Snake's still over by Small Tower. Packrat's over in Kitchen.
Well, they could do that mirror you told before that was facing towards Split, though. I mean, we talked about that mirror is pretty good, actually, to hold on the Kitchen and have that, below pressure. They could do that mirror down there, actually. It's not doing.
Yeah, I mean, that was a patented Asylum Patient / Fernie's Taco strat, so there might be some trademark issues there, but...
It could work. The question is now, so where are the mirrors now if they're not going to do the same mirror? Because I think the big thing, too, is, well, if they're going for a game stake, they're going for that game's Attic, having the mirror facing Attic when you need Attic control to, swing on the people inside of games, kind of doesn't really help you in the end, does it? So I wonder, are they going to place those mirrors in different places in this round as they are trying to redo this entire round?
Well, thankfully for Asylum Patients, while it's not completely uncontested, there is a shield inside of Dorms watching the trophy doorway. It's still free map control on this side of the map. Nothing and nobody on Soup really contesting all that much. There is now a mirror window. It was put up late. That is placed on that attic wall. Snake trying to go for a run out. Re-peeks it, goes for a second time. And both times, it puts Rainbow to lower and lower HP every time that Snake peeked, but he's not able to secure a kill. He did some damage, and he should be thanking his lucky stars that he was not taken down by the Zofia, but he does manage to do more damage than he takes.
That's good. Hey, it's putting some early damage to make it easier in the end or later on in the round. Still good work. Hey, even didn't get a kill, but still good work from Snake. Gets away with some damage and stays alive for the moment. And now that kind of throws Asylum Patience. Maybe they want to clear this roam now, seeing as a lot of people are downstairs roaming. At this point, too, with the... Oh, nah, that's unfortunate. Hit the door sill. That is just unfortunate. What is happening? Are we lagging? What is going... I think Nat was lagging. I'm assuming Nat was lagging, and he just blows himself up, unfortunately, because he was just not... He was just lagging out. It sucks.
If he wasn't lagging out there, that was an extremely curious play. But yeah, so
Okay.
Nat was lagging, so that makes a lot more sense.
Hey, Snake makes a great play though.
I was about to say, Snake is able to take advantage of the chaos there. Packrat also finds a kill. Now Titans in the 1v5, the only one left, and just gets immediately smoked by both Snake and the Alibi peeking him at the same time. So we saw a rough round from Soup to start out, but now a very good follow-up that we saw. And while we did have Nat's precarious position on outside of Trophy, there was still a lot more going the way of Soup that round than we saw previously. The Attic, Mira, sure, they're not able to fully capitalize off of it, but they do have intel looking into that position. That's a lot more than they had last time. They do have that downstairs control fully intact, and they can start rotating over, trying to push people out, but really, they didn't need to. Nat kills himself because of that nade. That's the first, well, technically the opening pick, I guess, going the way of Soup in a way. But the big thing was Snake pushing that bedroom wall there. He's able to catch the Hibana off guard, hears her cooking the flashbang, takes master bedroom control back. That was really the big moment that round. Of course, everyone and the guns came alive inside of sight, taking down everyone outside as well. But that was the big play that really opened things up. So some good positioning and some good timing for the Jaeger there to not only capitalize and make Nat's death a bit better for them in the end, but also just individually, good play by him.
Yeah, that was definitely unpredictable play from the side of Snake though. You would never expect someone to just walk out of the breach and start taking a fight after that. But on to basement we go, to laundry and supply for our next site from the side of Soup. And so far, they've shown us some good stuff when it comes to that aggression, comes to those unexpected plays, which I guess is what you expect from underagers, from those amateur teams in the River 16s team. They come with crazy new plays. They come with crazy swings you wouldn't expect, or you don't think that people will do in these kind of competitive tournaments. And we'll see if they can do the same here on this basement site, because, well, are they going to roam though? Are they going to try and stop Asylum Patience from incurring too much, momentum on their attack here when it comes to this basement site? Nacho's the first one only upstairs. Waltz goes to T2 actually, is opening up into Attic. Interesting. So this is the roam game. I'm going to see how well Soup can do it.
Right now, there are a lot of players concentrated on the site, so there's no opening that Asylum Patients can capitalize on, immediately rush down because of a lack of manpower. The only one up there right now is Snake, who can make use of that rotate to be a bit fluid in how he wants to tackle this. If there's some pressure over by Big Tower, he can rotate there. If he realizes they're more pressuring security and kitchen, he can rotate through there as well. Nacho also looking to maybe make a foray up there. Could have, had he been a couple seconds later, found himself in the crosshairs of Nat, who is also slowly making his way into this area. A drone in front of him will spot Nacho playing on the bottom of those stairs, but do they know Snake is playing on top of the ladder inside of T3? That is the question right now. Drone going up there at the moment could potentially spot the Jaeger depending on the angle, but so far, nothing yet.
Yeah, if he stays unnoticed until the end of the round, that could be big for Snake. And if he does get noticed, if he wastes time on this T3 and makes Asylum Patients take, the rest of the round and try and deal with him on T3, that could be huge. But never mind. I don't know what happened there, but Nat will deal with them immediately. So there goes that entire conundrum. There goes the entire obstacle from the side of Soup. So now they can go to work. And now the question is, what is the Silent Patience' play going to be? Are they going for a Big Tower, going for Bunker, or are they going for a Freezer Laundry Take? They have the Ying play on Flipper, so it could be the Laundry Take. Pack Rack lying down in a position you would never expect, right by the hatch.
Yeah. That'll definitely require some droning or maybe some good timing, good crosshair placement, or good air quotes crosshair placement for Asylum Patients to figure out. C4 not going to find anything, unfortunately. Asylum Patients are all around the corner at the moment in Big Tower, so that C4, all it did was hit air, and, well, nothing really beyond that. Nade going out could find Nacho in that corner, and indeed it will. Well cooked and well placed utility by Nat. Rainbow also taking advantage of that Big Tower position with the whiff C4 and the player playing outside or at the bottom of those Big Tower stairs down. He can peek in, peek that single panel, and work a pick successfully in that area. Packrat also, actually, no, it's not Packrat. It is Stars playing behind that shield and caught mid reload animation. Nat gets another kill for him so far in this series. He has been going absolutely massive on map number 1, continuing the trend on map number 2, and overall, you could characterize that Soup round as anything but massive.
Yeah, I was just... First of all, we saw Snake. He was the first obstacle that was in Asylum Patience' way, and we thought, hey, he's going to play T3, he's going to waste time, and if they don't notice him, he's going to make a great play later on. And we didn't see the engagement, but Nat kills him, not even walking up the stairs even. I think he just looked up the stairs, and I guess Snake was peeking, and he dies immediately. Not a great start. And then they go downstairs. It looks like they did bring the Ying, so I thought it was going to be maybe a Laundry Freezer take, but then they started going for Bunker and for Back Tower Stake, maybe because they took out Snake. They thought at that point they can push down those Big Tower stairs, push pressure Bunker, and Well, great shots from Nat. Nat stone to C4. One of the players going with C4. Nat knows one's playing barrels, and he goes over towards bunker. Throws a grenade off the point perfectly, kills the Goyo. They take control of bunker. They take control of the back tower stairs. So remember pushing freezer and launcher stairs at the same time too. And you see elsewhere those players were dying, leaving X-Stars by himself inside elbow. It was Nat to kill him to get a 3K for the round.
Overall, it was just good clearing out of positions by Silent Patience, while also, I guess, clearing out Snake and whatever happened there could be categorized as position clearing. So overall, nice to see from a Silent Patience and Benny. They have won 2 rounds in Oregon, but not only that, they have won 2 rounds on the 2 primary bomb sites on attack. Anything here is basically, I would say it's basically extra at this point. Like, you've got what you need, but also on the 2 primary sites as well. Even if Soup win this and say they go to a tertiary site later on, it's Packrat trying to remind Nat to tone down, thinking Nat might be confused. This is a scrim.
Yeah, I think the issue is the fact that hey, Nacho, he's not a scrim anymore. He could tell Rainbow because last time it was interesting because Rainbow last time was the first person to walk in by himself. We saw him push over towards armor resist and open up the hole. So good job from Soup to know that and to deal with Rainbow because Rainbow was by himself both times. Nat by himself once again walking through kitchen. A lot of solo players from Asylum Patience that probably feel themselves, probably thinking they can do this because they're no problem. So this may come to bite in the back from Soup, but I would definitely agree. The fact that if they're going, we're going 1 for 1 for 1 on these sites, it's not looking good for Soup.
Might be going 1 for 1 here as well, though. A bit delayed. Actually, never mind. I was going to say could find the alibi, but yeah, they have no intel on the Jaeger's position right now, and he swings. He cannot flick in time. Actually, oddly enough, some poor intel play from Silent Patience. Not something we saw really on map 1. It was definitely a problem that Soup had, but this go around, it wasn't what got Rainbow. Well, could be what got Rainbow, but it's definitely what got Nat. Snow has managed to capitalize and find Packrat, but he's pushed a little bit. In my opinion, Flipper and Snows have pushed a little bit too heavily right now. Minute 45 left. Snows does manage to make the play, and now that they're backing off, I think this is good, because if Flipper and Snows is pushed there, especially with the Hibana on 1 HP, that probably would have been the round in 2-2 for Soup.
I definitely agree. If they took out the Hibana at that point of Snows, it's probably over there, because they need the Hibana at this point to deal with the mirror, because that's the only way they're going to be able to get it off. Though there probably is a mute Jimmer on that, on that mirror, so it's going to be probably not impossible to deal with that mirror. And this little laundry freezer take without Flipper being on the Ying, without smokes, without some kind of thing to blind to deal with that mirror in some kind of capacity, I don't see this happening for them. So unless they can get picks elsewhere through freezer or go for back tower stairs, I don't see this round going in the favor of Silent Patience, and we got to go for 1 for 1 once again. Titan's going over towards freezer, and I wonder what is this launch take going to go to? Are they going to back tower stairs? Are they trying to rotate to a hatch? It looks like they're just waiting for some kind of play from Titan.
They will send some flashbangs in to try to make it more difficult for Waltz to play the mirror, but unfortunately they all go wide. A nade sailed in as well. Does it deny that position? No, it's actually Flipper to deny Waltz playing there, but he's traded out by Nacho, and now the only aspect left is this freezer push. One part of it falls. Snows is on 1 HP, so he was not long for this world no matter what. Now, Titan has all these angles to contest, and he doesn't even trade that out. Actually thought that might have been a headshot, but no, it's instead even scoreline for Soup, 2-2. But both times, it's been a win on dorms for each team and then a win on basement for each team. I do believe Soup can go back to dorms, but it does mean that none of these sites, the primary bomb sites, are a certain win for Soup.
No, they're going back and forth, and it looks like it could just be a 3-3 at the end, which isn't anything crazy. 3-3 on Oregon isn't too crazy. We've seen it before. Soup can still make this happen on their attacking half. But I will say that last round, it ended up being a laundry freeze take, but this time they didn't bring the Ying, so they don't have smokes. The mirrors are mute jammed, so they can't open them with the X-Chaos from Hibana. So at that point, with the laundry freezer take, they couldn't even get anything done. Well, even before that, the fact that they lost 2 players early, taking out Rainbow, because they knew he opened up and pushed through Master last time with nobody else with him. So it's easy pick there from Nacho. Great job from Nacho. Great intel or even intuition. And then on top of that, then you saw Nat by himself pushing kitchen. He tries to push through kitchen, tries to push through green hole, knows one player is in meeting because intel from his team. Goes for the kill, but doesn't know this is Jaeger of Snake playing with Nacho. So he goes for a 2 for 1, and actually in that round, Soup played really well together on the roam.
We'll see an adjustment on the attack by Silent Patience. Titans rotating from his, I feel like, very typecast Sledge over the time that I've casted him. Always been in that role. Instead, moving to the Osa, and I believe, at least in an official... I was going to say, in an official capacity, this is the first time I've casted Osa. I have seen it before. Technically, when I was on the CDAP's R6 Invite Quals couch cast today, I saw Spirits pick the Osa, in which it didn't even have an effect on the round.
Oh,
so this
really?
is my
That's
first time.
unfortunate.
Well, The reason it didn't have an effect on the round was because it was a flawless round for the other team, and Spirits was the last one alive. And I don't think he used any of his utility. So, not a good representation.
We could hear.
I mean, yes, that could happen here. I hope it doesn't. But it could happen.
Hey, this is pretty solid, and Patrick goes down first to Nat, who just, again, so far, Asylum Patience has always been quick on pushing their members into the building, which is great to see, actually. It's both a good and bad thing, because you've seen, Soup take advantage of times, deal with those early push from those players, and is X-Star really thinking someone's going to open up the hatch from below?
Located by
I mean, it's possible to try to get an angle or send a nade up, but actually, the only two sets of nades are for... okay, I was about to say, yeah. Probably better to reinforce that wall, but they will nade the floor below that hatch. It does, I think, a little bit of damage to X-Stars, but nothing all that crazy. You can bandit it as well, and playing in this position, you do want that hatch to be secure. You don't want to possibly fall, and I'm assuming he's lagging again. Is what happened there.
Nat. Oh, Nat.
How ironic is... Oh, no, they just have no idea that Snake is in this position. All right, well, that's... So, in a funny way, Benny, they have really good intel for entering the building, but it's when they're inside of the building that Asylum Patience can be lackluster.
Yeah, they start off really well sometimes, where they're able to get in the building, they get intel early in the round, and then they just kind of, unfortunately, fall off due to, well, the people be dying or just chaos, and then that's where Soup seems to be, really taking control and really ensuing chaos. Titan's trying to get an angle onto the mirrors, playing in the corner of Waltz. He's just kind of sitting here, playing that same angle towards Attic to deny it later on. And so far, he's just kind of Titan's just waiting for something to happen, because at this point, they're down a member. They got to find some kind of pick here to further push their way into the round, because otherwise, what is their play going to be? Are they going to jump through big window? Are they going to go white stairs? Are they going to push Attic? I don't even know what the play is going to be more for the Asylum Patience.
It's a difficult proposition. There's still time to maybe open a better wall, but they're just going for this big window play right now. Not much option to rotate, especially with this committed resources. Snake will rotate out on top of white stairs. Nacho still alive on the bottom, gets killed on a flipper. That's a pretty big pick. That was the player holding security, and Snake, long angle, retaking white stairs, manages to find one. This is a very unwinnable position for Snows. Not just the 1v4, but playing that corner of the window, very difficult to come away with. He comes away with 2, but there's still players to the left of you, players to the right of you. Once you position yourself in the corner of that, like to the right of big window, unless you're Kool-Aid, you're not clutching that one out. And in this case,
that was a crazy clutch.
That was a crazy clutch, but one he should not have won.
That was unfortunately due to a factor that people were peeking. Unfortunately,
yes,
that was they should not have. If no one peeked him there, they would have won that round.
A little bit of luck and also 1v1s. Yeah. Which did not happen in this case. Soup either peeked him at the same time or didn't peek him at all.
Having the mirror there made it pretty much impossible at that point too, because it just exactly knows position. Eesh. But yeah, no, that was unfortunately another round where just Soup playing well. Like you saw early, sometimes gets the first pick. They have great intel early, but then Soup ensuing chaos as time goes on, where Asylum Patience doesn't have intel seen mid round wise. They seem to lack that intel mid rounds, and Super playing, I guess, really unpredictable plays. You wouldn't expect people just to walk in kitchen when half the round's already gone and just start taking fights. You wouldn't expect it. Drones aren't there. It's just unfortunate.
But also the problem here, Soup have won dorms and basement, that is true, but so have Asylum Patience, and now that Soup is forced to go to their off-site, this is normally the spot where you say, oh, okay, the attack on Oregon can get a round win. So going into this is a very good opportunity for Asylum Patience to end the half 3-3, which on Oregon could sometimes be enough to swing the map in your favor if you're able to get those 3 attacking rounds, especially when it was on like dorms and basement, and this is the first time Soup have defended this site. And just going off the history of the game, the first time they defend a site, same for dorms, same for basement, they end up losing it and ceding that round to Asylum Patience. So this is an exceptionally good opportunity for the attack to end this half 3-3. And if that's the case, it's not the ball game, but it could be problematic for them going forward.
Well, let's not get spawn peak, but that didn't happen.
Not this time.
Not this time. But yeah, no, it depends. Like this could be where Asylum Patience takes 3-3. It really depends on Soup taking control either early or mid round and just making it difficult for Asylum Patience to start off, because it seems like so far if Soup can make that earlier mid round do well, either to get the man advantage or just ensue chaos and Asylum Patience just execute, they seem to be winning these rounds based on that. So it's a game based on, well, if Snake or any of these roamers can make it difficult and really just cause Asylum Patience to freak out, as they're going to really drone out upstairs. And the first part of Asylum Patience, of course, take control of the top floor. See if they can deal these roamers on the top floor. If there are roamers, looks like there's one player in Attic from Soup so far. And are they by themselves?
think the alibi might be by herself inside of attic, but there are 2 players, as you can see. One who is already there, one rotating up, 2 players on white. Those Snake now inside of dorms. It's really just players in all sorts of positions, but all holding good angles and all creating a sort of nest of crossfires inside of dorms right now. Not too much focus by Asylum Patience. We see 2 players, Nat and Flipper, trying to clear it out, the latter of which will get the first kill onto Packrat. It's actually not Flipper. I meant to say Rainbow, but it is Flipper who gets the first kill inside of sight. There's a split push right now. 2 putting pressure on the site, and Rainbow seemingly face-checking the attic, and it does not go his way at all. Same for Nat, trying to play catch-up, gets caught out by Snake running in from Trophy, or Yana running in from Trophy. Now Titans, who's left to pick up the pieces. Snows as well, also trying to make something happen from this botched roam clear. Super in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that was just, it didn't seem like they really had a plan to deal with those players. They just kind of are just face checking or pushing into the expected areas that Soup were just holding as a team. And you said before, nest of crossfires. They walk straight into the nest, and they of course lose those fights because they're hopefully lose those fights because they're playing as a team and they're watching each other's backs. So at this point now, it's, as you said, they got to pick up the pieces, try and find a play here and push up. Waltz is sitting inside of, meeting, holding for his team, while the rest of now is Silent Patience. What's the play going to be next? They had the first pick on Packrat, who was inside the kitchen, but after losing those members upstairs, you can't go for that same play now that those members of Soup can relocate onto site and deny that push in the kitchen. And also, like, one person running all the way around the map back towards back tower. And those Snakes are shooting out these X-Kairos, make sure they can't push in the kitchen. Flashes go down. Looks like it's going to be a kitchen take for Silent Patience.
Snake able to pretty effectively dispatch Snows playing on that hatch. I think Diffuser dropped inside as well. Nade will go down to try and cover the position as Flipper finds one, but it's still, I was going to say problematic, but now things have suddenly changed. Walt's getting aggressive, standing directly in that breach. Flipper on full health can pretty easily cover this Diffuser. Watching the doorway, the player pushes on through. He's not able to land the shots. He tries to recover, but he still manages to land it. Hip firing with the pistol, a 3-3 half for Asylum Patience. And based on their positioning, I frankly am astounded they came back to win that round.
How did he entry onto site?
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
Can I get a replay? What?
Well, actually, we have replays right now, as you can see.
Oh yeah, I missed it.
You have?
Unfortunately, I
No.
don't understand how
So-
Titan was able to get down the hatch and take control of site. Like, if you saw the beginning of that round. That was just a very poor roam clear from the side of Asylum Patience. They just face check attic. There was nobody playing like big tower or playing the window or playing another angle and try and deal with the player in attic. There's still an angle person from white stairs that then plays with them on the crossfire, and they lose 2 bodies early. How do they win?
Benny?
Hey, wonder what we're having.
You stop talking. What? You stop talking mid-sentence.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
a what?
point.
It's a wonder. I got nervous. Oh, you got kidnapped or something.
Oh well, I just don't know the answer to that round. I don't know what happened.
Well, whatever happened, I mentioned that if Asylum Patients are able to win that out and get a 3-3 half, that is very good for them going into the side swap. Didn't think it'd be in the fashion that we saw it, but it happened. Now they have it. We'll have to see how their first couple defenses go out. Soup could have some really gnarly attacks on Oregon. This is their map pick, so I imagine have a couple tricks up their sleeve. Starting out with dorms, let's see how Asylum Patients can set the trend. If they can get a lead early on, this is looking really good for them to end the series 2-0. We'll see some adjustments. Some new operators appear on their defense. See Snows on the Echo playing downstairs in kitchen. I think he might rotate back up, as you can see him moving over to the freezer stairs. But we will see somebody playing on that bottom floor, maybe 1 or 2 people testing and holding kitchen, because you can see all the reinforcements and the utility they've dedicated. They're not just putting that there for no reason.
Having that bottom floor defense play, of course, play security, try and deny the big window, and also, oh, Nat, that was a pick for.
Well, that's unlucky.
Great reactionary from Packrat though. Gotta give it to him.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate though.
Yeah, that's not great.
That is unfortunate. But again, yeah, they're playing downstairs. But now, of course, losing that first member in Nat, maybe some players now from Asylum Patience have to change up what they're doing to not make it as obvious, or let, Soup create that execute. As you see Titans running up towards small tower, maybe for later on to run out on somebody who may be outside big window. X-Stars is that member outside right now on a drone for the moment. I don't know if Titan knows this or not. We'll see what happens, as there's only 2 people on site.
could be an opportunity for Soup to start moving in. There's still some powerful utility there, but Waltz is close to opening this up. Packrat also close to getting this white stairs position. Looking very good for Soup, not just because of that pick, but in terms of positioning in the first minute. I'm very happy if I am the attack right now based on what is happening. A little bit less happy because Titans just danced on the corpse of the Capitao. Packrat manages to answer back, and now we can see the flood coming in. Snake goes immediately prone at the big window, but there's Titans again. I can safely say I've never seen that maneuver by anybody before. Snake will manage to get 2 based on that big window push, but since Rainbow is trapped outside the site, he gets 1 rotating back up. Now he has to rotate back down with no avenue to contest from below beyond the gun in his hands. Bomb on the floor as well. Pre-fire is coming in to land on those white stairs. It's going to be difficult for him to come away with this, and he won't have a chance at all. Soup take away their first attacking round, but Benny, that was something I have not seen before when it comes to both the attack and the defense.
That was as crazy as like Mikey, who freaking made that ran across that same window all the way to small tower to kill them on a freaking meeting execute or dining execute. Oh, I just don't even know. But anyway, that round characterized the fact that Nat loses first. He gets killed out trying to find and get a kill on Packrat, who was, rappelling up towards Highway. And unfortunately loses it out. Kind of throws Asylum Patience into a ream there because they have down a man early in the round, allows for Soup to position themselves really well, like you're saying. Their position was great there, all around the map. Big tower, over by, going through games, going through attic. Great positioning. Well, actually, no, they weren't attic at all, actually. It was big window and games. Great job from, Soup. They're pushing their way through, opening up the walls they need to.
Benny.
Titan does run out and get a kill. Great job from Titan. But because of that, because he gets the pick onto the player in sight, though, Packrat gets another kill. That allows them for Packrat to just jump into sight, jump to the big window, walks right in. Titan then tries to get that kill, jumping on a small tower, gets picked off. Then he gets to pick on the player and kids. And now it's just 1 player left in a 1v3, 1v4.
Benny.
Yeah, what's up?
SQ Academy lost.
Really? I don't know the SU Academy, so I didn't know they were going to lose one anyway. What was the score? I was actually quick. Wait, yeah, let's see. That's quick.
It's 7-2, 7-3.
What? Already? What the heck?
Man,
I
might be getting fired at the end of the broadcast.
Yeah,
today.
you really like. Yeah,
Hey,
I was.
No. Windstorm also won 2-0. The results are literally just coming in. This is actually
that's good. That's
recent as of a minute ago.
Windstorm's good. That's fine. But I was relying on you for the T3 knowledge, this Amateur team knowledge, and it's just.
This is kind of after my time, okay? This is I'm working like I'm the kid who read like 15% of the book and is just winging the rest of the book report right now when it comes to my knowledge of these teams.
Do I gotta go get Harrison? At least give me like a little preview for the stuff.
Harrison might even struggle at times. I'm saying that I'm sure he'll be in my DMs momentarily. Like I know all of these players.
Don't you slander my name?
He's not here. He can't fight back. For second side up, I was going to say first site, but it's not. Silent Patient's second side up is basement. There is one player currently roaming up top. I believe, is that the Oyo pushing up laundry stairs right now? Yes, it is. That is Snows. But he quickly rotates back down. Probably a smart decision. Not really many people who can support him over there. And then there's a 5-man hold on the site, with the majority of the pressure faced over toward those big tower stairs, which is also, coincidentally, where Soup are mainly pushing right now, and they will have to likely use some of those nades to clear out the player inside of Harry Potter or behind Pillar, whichever way.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see if they can deal with, because we saw how well you saw Nat throw this grenade, and well, that's a good way to do it. Just peek the angle and just kill him. Rainbow peeks out too far, not aware of they've already pushed up to bunker, gets that kill, and now the push then play. But great job from Nat playing barrels. Great job to kill Packrat, but there's still another player on big tower stairs. Now pressure from 2 different angles, knowing his position. So now we got to see Soup probably throw a grenade, have someone behind him to pinch him out of his position. They could also try to open up that hatch, but he does see one actually gets the down. Wow, blind. What a shot from Nat. And so far, now they still have to see what is the members on big tower. They're getting pushed off by the smoke. So good job from the Silent Patients to try and bring us back and deny this push.
It's actually, and maybe we can delve into it a little bit later. Nacho finds the kill on a Nat, so we'll finally clear out the player in that position, but Titans retakes very effectively, takes down the Capitao, rotating out from E-Box, with Snake on low HP as well. This is a bit of a difficult position, because there are 2 players pushing bunker, one of them a weekend, but finds a kill onto the Mira, despite that fact, but they haven't fully cleared out bunker, and Snows also takes advantage of that. A second one as well, easy pre-fire for him. Maybe not easy, but definitely a damn good one at that. Now Nacho has to push up long, the 1v2. One looking towards his position, sitting behind a deployable shield. The Goyo isn't looking his way, so right now, this is an effective 1v1 just based on the players looking over towards the Zofia. He's playing this very patiently. He knows that the defense is likely going to play passive and hoping that Snows gets antsy, starts to move, and he can get a very easy free kill. Packrat with some very smart deception in chat right now to try to get a member of Asylum Patience to peek out. But now it's Nacho that moves right in front of that deployable shield. It's an easy one for Flipper to pick up. Benny, I have to say, some big misplays by Soup in that round because they tried the Hibana instead of opening up the E-box wall, decided instead to rotate down inside a bunker and help the Yana that way.
Dude, they had the first pick too. They get the first pick on the pillar. That's already one part of that triangle dismantled. You just have to deal with the person inside of barrels. And like you said, E-box, they can just open up the wall. Like, sure, if someone's playing at the door, trying to shoot those X-Kyos, that just gives another chance for you to kill Nat playing barrels. Like it's just like, oh my god, yeah, that was unfortunate.
The entire reason though I was able to, well, one, I think Soup is getting a little bit over aggressive on those back tower stairs. But either way, because that wall was not open, he's able to get aggressive and take down Packrat. He's able to get aggressive again and literally down Nat while blinded, just pre-firing his position as Snake tried to prone with the nade in his hand. Because you never open that wall, you allow him to play with that much freedom. You allow him to do all of those things, and it really was that position. It didn't lose them the entire round, but it definitely hurt their chances for a large portion of it. And a lot of damage was done because they never cleared out Nat in that early to mid round, and it heavily affected their late round game, even though they did still manage to get quite a few important picks.
Yeah, they still made it even, but like they spent so much time. Like they went early to bunker without dealing with the person in barrel, so they couldn't really even push into bunker early. They get the first pick though, great first pick on the person in pillar using that angle, but they can't, successfully push through bunker towards elbow towards barrel because of the fact that they had the person elbows there and the barrel of Nat still playing the position. So you need someone to go above, open up meeting, and open up that E-box wall. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. Again, having those moving pieces to do that all together is what you see from Soup. And so far, it seems like sometimes there's just gung-ho where they're really dead set on one objective without really figuring out how to deal with it effectively.
One thing that is nice, though, that might be a little bit better for them now that they're not on basement and they're actually on dorms, is Snake has been doing very well on the entry when it's come to the attacking half. Yeah, we haven't had a large sample size, but he's done pretty well so far, or at least overall Soup have done very well in opening things up. Is that transition, that middle phase where they begin to struggle. But Snake, the second round of their attack, Packrat in the first round have done a good job of opening things up. And on dorms, it helped out exponentially. Isolating the people on the bottom floor and getting the opening picks on the players inside of the site made the flood so much easier. Now Packrat, setting down inside of Split, is in a good position to either catch the Jaeger rotating on back tower stairs or also find the Mute playing inside a kitchen. And this is what they just need to do. Just isolate these players once again. But if he doesn't have the intel and he's not even watching that spot, the Mute could just peek out and he has to rely on the flick, which does come through when he needs it most.
Yeah, that was a great flick. It just sucks. The mute just kind of walks out and does not know someone's right behind them. But there's refrag. Rainbow in a great position to refrag. Is someone there to at least refrag Rainbow? But no, nobody's there with him at the moment. So it's kind of a cat and mouse play downstairs. It's always interesting to see, and evens up. Nothing too crazy. You do lose. Actually, well, never mind. Nat just goes down walking at white stairs, not aware big windows open, so he goes down in that engagement to Waltz. So far with that first pick, if they can take control white stairs, that'd be huge. Flipper's in a bit of a pinch there, but Waltz kind of just throws it and tries to take that fight. Snake, they'll take a Flipper into refrag, so it's just back and forth for these teams. But so far, Soup, because of that first pick, are looking better. But
all right, well, this could be going a little bit better, but it's still a 1v2, so I'll take it if I'm Soup. There's a deployable shield as well that the Zofia can play behind. This makes Rainbow's push, rotate, whatever, extremely difficult to work. He has to hope that a pick gives itself away behind that shield. Other than that, he might have to try to just rotate Master Bedroom if he wants to keep playing this side, because that Zofia is just going to sit behind that shield until he either rotates through, makes a different play, or gets that pick. The Zofia will rotate off, but immediately you see retakes that position, contesting it. He manages to sprint on through. Don't know how Nacho just let that happen, but now he can take the fight, maybe go for a second one this time. Yes, he will. Exactly what will happen. Takes down Rainbow. Got a little bit worried on that entry. Could have been a bit better, but it's still Soup to take dorms, the primary bomb site, twice in a row. And we talked about Benny. Asylum Patience got those 2 wins on attack. For Soup, it's a little bit different. They need 3, but they've won a primary bomb site twice. Looking good for them so far.
Yeah, it's definitely looking a lot better for them. Like that early round, kind of scary. It's kind of a bit of a cat and mouse. They're kind of just walking around the map. I'm not sure what intel they have, but they're able to refrag, deal with those players, stop that bottom floor play, and then on top of that, they push up. They open up that game's wall. They deal with the players on site before Titans. Was it Titans or who it was? Oh, no, Rainbow gets back to site more than anything too, and it's just the full control that they had, and it's just the fact that they're picking off players, like players who are unaware. The fact you saw one player like Waltz gets the pick onto, I think it was Nat walking up white stairs. It just seems like the times where Silent Patients are unaware how fast Super are taking control of the positions, open up game's wall, opening up big window, pushing through that kid's door, the kid's window. Like they weren't aware. It Snows gets the pick because of course they jump in the trap, but apparently someone jumps in the window at the same time. Just kind of those plays from Soup that are Silent Patients you don't seem to be aware of or don't seem to be ready for.
Moving down to the tertiary bomb site, meeting hall, and kitchen. Doesn't appear that Asylum Patients are doing anything too crazy, running a very standard lineup that we see, in all likelihood placing maybe the Aruni and the Jaeger on that top floor to contest that second floor. I imagine Nat likely will as well. He's been having a very good game so far, so maybe just the Jaeger and the Malusi, maybe all three. We saw Soup position 3 members in this top floor, 1 in dorms, 1 on top white, and 1 inside of attic. Could be going for a similar play for Asylum Patients. We'll just have to see. For Soup, with that Ying, is also with Snake doing very well, or Snake and honestly Packrat at times it seems. Packrat actually on attack, the one who has the more entry duels and entry wins so far, could be doing very well for themselves because they have won the entry every single time on attack. But instead, Benny, look at this, 4 members all proning in through garage. That might be the silliest form of, I mean, is this a rush? Yes, it is. This is a rush. They send it in through split. Flipper is able to down one right off the rip, but it's still Soup to get the opening pick. Those snakes soon fall soon after. Titans, since there's no coverage, they took this a little bit too quickly. He gets one, but not the second, and it's all Nacho left in the 1v3. He gets the pre-fire, but not the kill. Flipper with 3 of his own. Silent Patients take the tertiary bomb site because, as so often happens, a rush did take Silent Patients off guard, but in the chaos, defense can find just as easy a time to bring it back as the attack can to make or set the pace.
Yeah, I talked about, throwing them off guard and doing things they wouldn't expect. Like, sure, you don't expect a rush, but like on an Oregon defense, like, kitchen and meeting, they're going to be playing above.
They could just play the hatch.
Yeah, you can play the hatch. People are going to be playing the rotate. Like, sure, you can walk into sight. I don't know. That's probably the one side I think you wouldn't want to really rush because of that kind of problem with it. But I don't know. Maybe most sites you really can't rush really on Oregon because of the same reason. So I don't know. That's just kind of a crazy thing from Soup. But hey, they have something to play with. That they were around above, so they just wanted to just kind of try it out. But same point. That's kind of the round. That's the site you expect the attack to win if they play it normally, though.
I would, and so maybe a bit of a missed opportunity by Soup there. It's still 5-5, but that was definitely with the one round. You mentioned the, the third bomb site the teams have. Definitely the biggest opportunity for Soup to get another attacking win on the board. Now, if they want to win this in regulation, they have to win the next 2 in a row, which will be 2 primary bomb sites. Of course, Dorms has gone Soup's way every time, so I am saying that could have a freebie right there that I'm not giving fully enough credit. Also, you saw the 6 pick from Flipper to Warden. I imagine Soup are going to anticipate that. They're bringing a Ying. Odds are Asylum Patients, whether they reveal it or not, will have a Warden in their arsenal. It's likely something they're expecting, so could have some impact by Flipper. We often see a Warden positioned on the Logi machines, just not only because of the gadget, but also because of that position with the MPX and the 1.5. Can do a very good job of either contesting Laundry or Freezer. So it'll be good either way, but I imagine the Warden is something that Soup will expect and likely have an idea for how to maneuver around.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where they put Flipper, but the first things first is if they can deal with Nat again, who was playing that barrels. And of course, saw last time Rainbow got shot off when he was playing Pillar. Hopefully this time he doesn't stick his butt too much out where they can get shot in the butt walking around. But so far, Snow, as he opens up and shoots in the player on that main door, he's going to barricade it and back off for the moment. And Titan's setting up those mirrors so that it makes it difficult. It makes it almost, I wouldn't say impossible, but pretty much really difficult to push Freezer and Laundry, having a mirror facing in the Freezer and a mirror facing towards the Laundry entrance. So usually if you have at least you have the Ying, you can try and go for that play with the Candelas and the smokes. But with the Warden on board, the Warden is playing elbow. Is it still impossible?
It could be. It is a solid position if they are anticipating Soup to push in that direction. Not entirely sure just yet. Snake looking for maybe a cheeky kill onto Snows here. Fortunately, a barricade in his way stops his push, but still playing and working for a pick in this position. Highly doubt one will present itself unless he waits and hopes somebody rotates across. Titans might very well do that, but based on the positioning, unless the player in long decides to get aggressive, I doubt anybody, or Snake in this case, will find anybody willing to give a pick in this position. But also, as I say that, Nat just sends a couple shots his way, so really who knows what could happen after that. It's a laundry freezer push for Soup. It's what we have, or what we can see so far. Now they're finally starting to make their way on down, and if these things come through, it could be quick. They can't be blundered. These Candelas need to land if they want to take that freezer control, and already one's caught by Wamais, but the other goes through. Nat, fully blind, has to try and take these gunfights, but no, he just pushed back.
Nobody pushed off of the Candelas. So, well, there's 2 Candelas wasted, I guess, because nobody got a kill. Nobody pushed off of it. They were able to deal with the mirror facing towards freezer, so not like a total waste.
And Nat
but
took the position.
Yeah, he's still playing in this angle. They didn't push him off. They didn't kill him. So he still can play his position. Of course, they have a long angle to laundry, but that allows like Flipper could go and play that position like we talked about, having the ward and the laundry to have that long angle. Again, nothing's gonna be out. Nat gets hit by concussion. Still no play. Where is the laundry person, or maybe a misdirection? Somebody's on top of the hatch and meeting. Drops down E-box. Great shot in person pillar. Pack Rat with a play, but he's immediately. Yeah, he's 2 actually. Great job from Pack Rat, but Nat and Snows still playing well off of each other. Waltz is done with off Nacho with another on his own. Flipper's now left in a 1v2. Plants going down from Waltz. What information is Flipper now in this situation?
It doesn't look like much, Benny. Doesn't look like he's playing with much to try and color how this round is going, where these players are playing. He knows Zophia's inside a freezer because of those shots just fired with the hatch or the flash going through. He can't now activate it, but there are a couple flashes left for Waltz. I doubt he's going to use them, though. They're now, both attackers are holding these angles. One prone on the floor inside a freezer, the other rotated over to laundry. This is an extremely difficult position for Flipper to try to turn in his favor because of the player up above him and the player who is just Zofia playing extremely passively inside a freezer. He's got to get lucky in these final 5 or 6 seconds or so and hope one takes the fight. And one does, but he tries to stick it, and instead it's match point for Soup in the end. But, Benny, if we're going to give the MVP award of that round to anybody, it has to be Pack Rat.
Pack Rat with a misdirection was perfect. That was just because in the end, that's why laundry supply is so difficult. You can use the Ying to try and circumvent and push in, but they didn't push off the Candelas. We saw those Candelas. It did allow them to destroy the mirror and freezer, which did kind of push that mirror and stick them in that corner, which is good for Pack Rat in the end. But that they didn't push off the Candelas, so they just kind of allowed Nat to retake that position, playing freezer or playing the hall. And at that point, it was a stall. It was a dead end for Soup. So it had to be a misdirection, allowing for Pack Rat to jump down into E-box, deal with the player in pillar, deal with the mirror who was playing by the bomb chassis, create chaos, allowing for those members to push in a freezer after all of that. You saw Waltz walk in, take 2 player of his own. You saw members take in from laundry as well. And that was the perfect play from Soup. It's perfect play from the side of Pack Rat to make them happen in the first place, which teams do often, but it's always, it's kind of a gamble in the end, really.
It can be a little bit of a gamble, but since all 4 players of Soup were all putting pressure on that side, that's the side that all of Asylum Patience was focused on trying to contest. So when he drops E-box, he can easily find 1, and in reality, 2 picks, because of that focus that the entirety of the defense is trying to counter what seems to be all of the attack. A player can take advantage of that chaos, and that is exactly what Pack Rat did. And now we go to dorms, a site that, confoundingly, Soup has won both times Asylum Patience have went to it. That's not even a feat Asylum Patience had on their attack, and we thought a 3-3 on Oregon was impressive, but at least on this site, Soup have definitely been the ones that have performed high above expectations. They're bringing up Monty instead, trying to bring out maybe something a bit more niche to throw Asylum Patience off guard and give them a round win that Asylum Patience are forced to adapt and can't pick up to. We'll see. All Asylum Patience have to do, get their first Dorms defense, and it's overtime.
Yeah. That's what Asylum Patience they're looking to take this overtime, but hey, that Monty could be something you never expect. If he just walks in, if they don't know the Monty's on the board and he makes a play, walks into the site and they get the plant down, this could be it. But it depends. Again, they have to throw Asylum Patience off guard. They have to do something you never expect. Well, Nacho's pushing up first. Snake and Nacho push up quick. Take control of dining, take control of that shower stall, shower hallway, and pushing the way up. Nobody from, Asylum Patience is too crazy downstairs. There is a play downstairs in security. Play downstairs, yeah, it's Titan, of course. He's creating holes like you'd expect, so you can deny that big window push if it ever happens. So far, it looks like he's taking pressure. He's taking shots from the side of shower, so he's just kind of backing off. He's by himself, though, so this could be a problem. He's dead.
Whew. Yeah, Titans, unfortunately, just in a bit of a blender right there. Not entirely sure where anybody's pushing from. Packrat. We mentioned, I kept highlighting Snake, but Packrat really has been the one on these entries in both the early and the late round on Nomad, oddly enough, to make things happen. Flipper almost lands a nice shot, but it's Montaigne he has to deal with. Right as he flicks, extends that shield. Will get smoked out a little bit. The smoke canister actually bounces off and forces X-Stars to rotate back. But that's exactly what Soup can do. They can pull back. They can make this white plant works, or make this white push work, set up a little bit more, because they have the opening pick with 1.5 minutes left. White control seemingly in the next 30 seconds as well. Looking very good to close this out in regulation.
Oh, Snake almost threw into his own grenade. But like you said before, yeah, White could be the play here because the fact that they've already dealt with playing downstairs. Wait, never mind. Nat's down there once again, pushing up. Get Packrat once again, doing his job. Dells with the flank. Rainbow, though, he sees one play, but doesn't matter. Snake's there ready for it. Great reaction from Snake. And now down to Flipper and Snows. This could be all of his. Looks like the air jab goes off by Snows, but he's getting shot from White. He's dead. It's up to Flipper now in a 1v5. It's going to be a flawless round, it seems like, but the Monty's there. Oh, he's dead. No, he's
not
done
happening.
for. He's done for.
Well, that was certainly an impressive map number 2 coming out from Soup. Not one I anticipated with the 3-3 half, but they answer back with a 4-2 attacking half on Oregon. That is quite impressive from them. Sure, it's their own map pick, but still a 4-2 half on Oregon, no matter what, is extremely cool to see. But then again, for your map pick, it's not the kind of thing where you're like, yeah, well, we might only get a 4-2 half on attack. It's whatever. You got to play for that win. You can't just resign yourself to that fate. That's exactly what Soup did. And now we go to map number 3 to fill you in on some results, though, because at least for one bracket in particular, it's been a very quick day. Because Benny, we talked about, I said, didn't ask, beat SQ Academy 2-0.
Yeah.
Aerial Arise Academy took the win, also 2-0 over Landscape & Co. And now they will be playing it out to decide who will qualify for SCS. And of course, since we're going to map number 3, that game, depending on what happened, could very well be on a map 2 if it
that could be done.
I wouldn't say that could be done by the end of map 3.
No. Yeah.
But if that side of the bracket is just trying to speedrun this, they could be almost done by the time we finish
they could be on map 2 already, finishing things up by the time we're doing map 3. Depends. I don't know if they started their match already or not. But yeah, that was quite a match. And that's definitely good to see Soup bring it back, though. We were scared in the first map because it was 7-2 in the favor of Asylum Patience, but they showed 7-5 in Oregon. Now we're going to see how their Villa is, at least a little bit.
And we will take a quick break real quick. But before we go, do want to thank Mavix Gaming Chairs. Again, they're our other big sponsor for SCS Season 6. Don't have a gaming chair myself. I have an office chair, but I did actually take a look last week, and their offerings look very nice. If you want to pick up one for yourself, if you're like me and you're still stuck with a boring old office chair, you're looking for a Christmas present that you can not gift yourself, but maybe ask somebody else to give you, or if you want, just if you wanna have some self-love, get yourself a gaming chair. Treat yourself during the holiday season. If you go to the Mavic store and use the code NSG55, you get $55 off of your order. That's a pretty good deal. I marveled at it last week, and it's still pretty impressive every time I see it this week. If you want to learn more, go to mavix.com/nerdstreetgamers to pick one up, and I probably honestly will. Christmas, depending on what happens. But we are going to go to a break after that. We have map number 3 of Villa in store in just short order, so in a couple minutes we'll be there. But until then, take a quick break. We'll see you in a few.
Welcome to the NerdStreet Winter Championships, featuring SCS6, a yearly open tournament series hosting the best players and teams North America has to offer, culminating in a community favorite, the Pro-Am. So let's discuss format. During the Winter Champs season, SCS6 will consist of 2 stages, where each stage begins with 2 open qualifiers. Once Stage 1 is complete, there will be an additional tournament offering 1 more qualification spot prior to Stage 2. Through participating in SCS6, players will acquire leaderboard points and cash prizing. The winning teams from Stage 1 and 2, as well as the additional tournament, will qualify for the Pro-Am. The top 2 teams from the leaderboard will also qualify. As we approach the end of the season, the final qualification spot will be determined through a last chance qualifier. The grand finals of the Winter Champs SCS6 will feature the return of the Pro-Am, where the top amateur teams have an opportunity to define their talent against the North American Pro League. But in the end, only one team will be crowned Winter Champs. Sign up today and make history.
There once was a tournament during the season of snow, filled with contenders of might, with names Deez, Ligma, and Joe. Their road was a trying one, wrists aching with cramps. In the end, victors rose. We call them Winter Champs. Before they departed, they left us these words. Our journey's just begun, all thanks to the nerds.
seconds left. It's going to come down.
We're making a third as he looks up. Faking up. Finds the draw. Three. Stunning here from...
Welcome back, everybody, to closed qualifier number 2 for SCS Season 6. I am Lynx, joined by Benny, and in case you missed it, map number 2 between Asylum Patients and Soup went Soup's away. 7-5. They got themselves a 4-2 attacking half on Oregon, which I did not expect, personally. I don't know about you, Benny. I did not expect that.
I was kind of scared, especially after the last map. I was like, I'm not sure what's going on, but you saw, dude, Snake and Pack Rat though, especially on the attack, that was just defense. We're kind of like, okay, 3-3, looking pretty good for Sounds Patience, but then Pack Rat, Snake, Soup in general on the attack though, 4-2 they were looking so good in the attacks. Great cohesion. They knew what they were doing, and a lot of times they were making plays we did not expect.
And also to update you about some other ongoings in the bracket, or well, actually the opposite as well, not ongoings, things that have ended. Wichita Wolves Academy versus Valor's GG is going to map number 3. I do not have these scores for you off the top of my head, or actually what map it is, but I do know it's going to map 3, which is one more map than I expected that game to go through. So could have an upset on our hands. But also, moreover, another example of me, there's still a chance for me to have my soup prediction right in this game, but in other cases of me not getting my prediction right, In Control Nation 2-0'd Mystic Academy in that part of the bracket as well. So they are guaranteed to play. Inc. will play the winner of Valor's GG versus Wichita Wolves Academy. And there's still a chance that our prediction of Wichita Wolves making it out by the end of the bracket could come true. But definitely a different matchup than I expected, at least personally. But to be fair, at least in terms of seeding, they were very close. So I'm still going to say that I was justified in my Mystic prediction. I'm still giving myself credit in that regard.
All right, nice.
I need it right now. I'm feeling very scared about my soup prediction.
Yeah, your soup prediction's kind of looking scary. We're going to Villa though for our next map, and hey, this could be. We need to see some, and again, some coordination. We saw it on Oregon, but Oregon's a bit easier map sometimes when it comes to layout compared to Villa or Cafe. So
we'll see. We will see. First man up, or I guess first team to be on defense will be Soup in this case, but as we've seen, if you start on the defense, does not necessarily mean you will have an easy time. First ban might be Thatcher or Maverick. That's been the trend so far in this game, but instead it will be Hibana, which is actually something I expected to be banned at least one other time in this match, but on Villa as well, Hibana can be very powerful, but I expect this one to be Thatcher as well, just based on Asylum Patience bans and the trend of this series as well. Yeah, there it is.
So next will be probably Valk, of course. The next one after that will be usually Mira. Makes sense on Villa. Mira's pretty strong anyway, and so is Valk, so I assume both of them should be like that. But Hibana, yeah, making a lot of sense. There's a lot of ways you can use like Skyros on most walls. When you Aviator, it comes to tri-wall and bedroom. The question is, will they leave the mirror up or will they ban it? Up to Soup.
We saw the mirror left up last time, instead going for the Valkyrie ban, but no, this time it will be the mirror ban. Soup more returning to how they banned on Cafe as opposed to this go around where they banned Valkyrie on Oregon. But with that Hibana Thatcher ban, while it is a departure from the trend of the series in that it's a new attacker ban, it's very standard in the meta overall, and for Villa as well. For example, Hibana, very useful. Ranged hard breachers overall on this map, very useful, because Villa can just sometimes be incredibly dangerous, either that Maverick or that Thermite, based on angles in the site, the prevalence of soft floors and C4s from below. You don't want to get too close to those walls. And we will see the only other ranged hard breacher come on the board. Snow is picking up the ace, and not wanting to go for either the Thermite or the Maverick because of the reasons I just outlined.
Yeah, definitely want to bring a Maverick for this kind of things. But yeah, bringing the ace makes sense. We are going to, of course, Aviator Games first for Soup, and we're going to see how they grow. I think they're bringing it crazy. What are they going to bring out strat-wise for this site? Because this site, it's been... really depends on how well you either defend that main stairs or defend that, north side, depending if you roam or not. We have seen a lot of aggression from Soup in the past so far, so are they going to roam on that north side trophy statuary? And they need to show us again if they can do it well as a team. Team cohesiveness is big. We saw it pretty well during the Oregon game, but that Cafe game, there just was not there. So we need to see it pop once up more for this match.
10 seconds to insertion.
Packrat on the pulse. Saw some implementation of the pulse for Soup on Cafe, but not much beyond that. Also appears that see a little bit more standard as opposed to the pulse, not an operator you often see on Aviator games. I was going to say a bit of a hold in the trophy statuary, but nothing too complicated. Snake is looking like he's trying to jump out a closet window, so already we're just losing the plot on this game and what could potentially happen. Snake hasn't gone for it yet. Could just be waiting for maybe some intel to present itself, but I doubt come the 30-second mark, I doubt he'll go for anything. Probably going to rotate off, especially if Packrat's feeding him intel. Should probably see him rotate pretty soon.
At this point, yeah, at this point they're going for main stairs from the side of Silent Patience. That should give intel for Snake if they hear this going on for them to back off and go towards the Pack Rats. Looks like they're returning back to the side. Nacho's by himself on Rome actually downstairs. Have they joined him out? I wonder actually indeed. Looks like they have joined him out. They're pre-firing his position. Multiple pre-fires in different directions. Grenade comes through. Can he get a kill? Nope. Titans will finish him off amidst the destruction. But elsewhere, X-Stars deal with Rainbow pushing through from study, it seems like.
Is able to get a kill rotating back. There is one right. Well, I was going to say right to the right of Snake, but he's also to the left for Titans. Pack Rat gets the second kill onto Flipper. Nomad player down. Ooh, Snake able to get that kill onto Titans as well. This take quickly collapsing for Asylum Patience. I thought, considering it was an effective 2v5 on the site, that they might take this pretty quickly once they got Nacho, but the rotation by Soup downstairs to directly confront the attack worked out fairly well. Snows will manage to open up an angle looking into Vault with that Selma charge, but it's not really going to do much for him overall, considering he's trapped on Study Balk right now. And he has to push through this doorway, in which there'll be one player all the way inside of Vault contesting it, one player on Aviator door contesting it, one player on main stairs watching it. He's likely just going to take a tactical timeout and just let his team collect his thoughts. He's not winning this one. Or maybe he will push in.
Yeah, walking. He's taking his time, walking around, sees one player, and can't win the fight, unfortunately, because Snake was waiting for it. And yeah, Soup will take the first defending round. Like you said, it looked really good. They were able to drone out, pinch out the player of Nacho playing in below inside of Library. But then elsewhere, just person on Library balk. We saw the person go down. We saw, I think it was, Titan goes, Titan kills Nash, and another person goes down with Library balk. We saw Titan then holding the flank. Still gets killed out despite holding that flank, unfortunately. Another Study Balk person gets killed out too, leaving 1v5 at that point, 1v4. Yeah, that was not as crazy as I thought, because that main control was so easy for Asylum Patience to take, it just didn't work their way.
Also, I do believe have a bracket update as well. Outlast took their match against Skull 2-0. Apparently, going off of Kenji's tweet, it was a close one. Was still a 2-0 though. So do have at least one team in every single bracket are confirmed to advance forward to round number 2. Just have to wait for, well, actually, for Outlast, they have to wait for this game to finish up. But then for the other ones, we have to see if Wichita Wolves managed to come out on top, whether Okami or Firestorm managed to come out on top. We're getting close to round number 2, though. Just a few more games have to finish up until then. But for this game in particular, we're only one round in on map number 3. Need to see a little bit more from Asylum Patience this go around. And that previous round, Soup did a pretty good job rotating, taking some fights on the roam as well. Did fairly well for themselves. Here, doubt we'll see anything too crazy. We might see Nacho get aggressive down below, but for the most part, I think a lot of the defense and the utility is going to be focused, if not in sight, on the top floor, with very little focused on that first or bottom.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Makes sense totally. Maybe a little C4 below, but so far, yeah, maybe X does go below the C4, or if Waltz will. Waltz right now playing AVG, Snake and Nacho just running around downstairs. Dude, it's just, again, just the roam is crazy. The Super just playing it like they just want to roam and throw their bodies around and take fights. It looks like they may be more focused on this AVG extension that has some kind of reinforcements. Looks like there's some reinforcements for the games and Aviator to try and help them out.
Again, a 5v2 on site right now.
Hey, the AVG extension. If they don't go for the AVG, roam clear, then they'll just rotate back to site. Rainbow with the first push in. I wonder if he knows one's pushing right in the kitchen, and yep, they're right through China.
It is now a 5v1 on site.
He just waits for the aggression from Soup, but those members from AVG should be returning back to site now.
They rotate back.
Yeah,
I was about to say, with Pack Rat being half of the players on the site, him rotating down means that Waltz... X-Stars was the only one there for a short time.
Yes.
But everyone does rotate back, and funny enough, Asylum Patience completely clear out the Aviator Games extension by killing one player not in Aviator Games. Nacho is still there, so it's not entirely true. But for the most part, Soup have decided to fall back and support X-Stars on the site, which is likely a good move. Nacho also on low HP as well. Now those 3 players again contemplating getting aggressive on that first floor, trying to attack Rainbow. Currently solo pushing Astro because while there are and were 4 people on the site, there is not a soul playing Astronomy. So that is just free map control for the attack.
They should just walk in and take it. If they can open up that wall as well.
That's what Rainbow's doing.
Oh, well, and the Rainbow gets another kill on the waltz too. So there's one of those players who were contemplating walking around. Well, they're dead now. X-Stars knows they push on him. He's lying down, expecting them to swing. I don't know if they're using any of the heartbeat trail, but there goes X-Stars. He's down too. It's just Snake and Macho who were roaming. Snake's go up the stairs, but there's someone watching it. Oh, the timing. Unfortunately, well, Nat takes out Nacho, so it's just Snake now. Snake's in a 1v5. He's got a C4 in hand, but it's a post plant. He can't do much except kill Nat.
I don't think he's gonna win this one.
Hey, you got to kill at least. You want 1 for 1.
I get that, but I don't think he's gonna win this one, Benny. He might send the C4 up, could find one.
Ooh.
Actually, does manage to find one. So
Nice throw.
good on you. That is a nice throw. 2 kills for you so far. Has a Mozzie Pest as well.
Ooh.
Take that as you will. But I don't think, yeah, based on all the angles he has to contest, pushing up Astro, not much is going to happen. For Soup's first attempt at trophy statuary, that was less than stellar, considering that they...
We had 2 very different rounds.
We had 2 very different rounds. 2 very different rounds. Despite the fact that everyone rotated back, Benny, nobody played Astro. You know, a kind of important decision for this site.
Wait,
Position.
Astro's important for trophy?
A little bit important. X-Stars was holding it in that he was sitting inside of statuary and was a trophy and was close by.
He was expecting them just to walk in lying down.
I guess. I don't know. That was kind of weird. I think that could have been defended a little bit better. Because Packrat as well also just decided to rotate downstairs. Is it like 45 seconds into the round when Rainbow had already cleared there? The Thunderbird had no intel and was like, yeah, I'll just figure it out. Died.
Yeah,
Everyone rotated back to everyone rotated back to the Aviator Games extension. And then they were like on the site and they're like, we can't play on the site. What are we doing? And then they
He did a
left.
last second change of heart.
Yeah,
Like, I don't wanna be
they decided to all rotate downstairs, but nobody's playing Astro. So Rainbow was like, okay, I'll just rotate up Astro and take that. Like, come on. What was that?
You know, I really thought that after nobody pushing AVG, really, they would just all rotate back to site. It's no.
You know, I think that too. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, they can't rotate. They probably can't rotate their full utility. I mean, obviously, they can't take down the reinforcements they put over there, but maybe a shield or something. But no, there's nothing in Astro.
Not even their bodies.
No, there was nobody there. It's pushed up the stairs.
Oh, we're on a. Well, you wouldn't expect it. We're on a we're in a kitchen dining defense. You wouldn't really think about it with the positioning. With the positioning of the players right now, you really wouldn't think we're on a kitchen dining defense with where everyone's at. I thought he was with the C4, then opening that barrel.
I did. The sad part is I did too.
Hey, Packrat's doing a great job. He's got a
C4.
C4. He's about to kill this guy.
Oh, goodbye.
I lied.
All right.
I lied.
Never mind.
He hit the windows. He hit the windowsill.
That's not on Packrat. That's just unlucky, I guess. There is also currently one person, I believe, pushing. Yes, there's one person. Bleh. 2 people actually. Titans and Rainbow both positioning themselves outside of that soft wine barrel wall to rotate up red. Unfortunately for them, if they were hoping to get Nacho, he is also rotated further on to the piano side of things. There is Nat currently in between him and the Thunderbird. Might not know Nacho's current position right now. Nacho or Titans and Rainbow both still wait for I believe some call, but the Nat is just walking into sight with no info. They also never droned out Nacho from his position as well. And the 2 Stooges get themselves killed.
What is this round?
And now
what is
Flipper
happening?
is dead as well. And also Snows. That round could have been played better.
By both teams?
That round could have been played better. I don't really know what happened there.
Well, I guess you can't drone out an ever-moving roam game. Lynx, you just can't do it.
I want to be honest, Benny. I don't think they really droned it out at all.
Dude, 2 players from Asylum Space just like crouched walk in by themselves. Just solo, nobody with them, just kind of just waltzed in.
You know what's better than 1 person face checking? 2 people face checking.
And then yeah, Nacho gets away with murder downstairs because they just walked up. He just walks up red.
No. That's not murder. That's not murder. He did not get away with murder. Getting away with murder is like Like, he does something crazy, and it's not punished. He
doesn't do the crazy,
He
he
didn't
just-
do
he's
anything. He just sat there, and they didn't drone him. Like, he didn't get away with anything. They just
I thought they
gave
droned it
themselves
too
up to
because they
him.
sat there outside the barrel for so long. I thought they were droning or something.
No, they're looking at each other. We literally we cut to Titans. Him and Rainbow were just staring at each other.
They were passionately looking each other eyes, just waiting for the cue to just rush this.
They're just like, you ever wonder why we're here? I don't know, man. Keeps me up at night.
Locate a bomb.
Anyways, Aviator Games now. This was also a site that Soup won. It's a little bit. It wasn't exactly like. Wasn't a great round for Silent Patience. What really happened here, Nacho was down below. They cleared him out, but the two players who were playing in Trophy Statuary for Soup all rotated over to almost sort of wrap themselves around the attack as they're wrapping themselves around a Nacho. If a Silent Patience droning is just as bad as it was last time, they might not know that there's a pulse in basement currently. To be TBD.
The timing.
No, they
the
simply
timing.
do not know. They simply do not know.
The timing. Pac-Man just walking by like he's just moseying in the basement, and he just hears a sledgehammer go thud, and he goes, "Oh, hey, someone to kill." Did they just stop droning? Did Silent Patience just not care anymore? Did they just like, is it too? I don't.
They got all. They got all 10.
Well, someone in the chat was like, they have to go kill the Ender Dragons. Maybe they didn't want to end it.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
They just want to speed run. Oh, Pac.
Why, Pack-Rat? Stop doing this. Stop doing that. That is stupid. Why are you doing that? What? Why? What do you gain from that? What do you gain from that?
He gains screen time.
You have two other people there. Help them out. Nat manages to get the refrag on a Nacho, who I imagine was also getting aggressive again inside of Statuary. Snake, despite the 1 health to his name, gets one more kill onto Nat, playing inside a master bedroom. And now we have a 2v3 on our hands, Benny, with Flipper and Snows, the only ones left. What'd you say?
Is this still competitive Siege?
I think it is.
Also, we haven't seen the BP in play yet. Now that's changed.
I actually forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, it can move left to right now, and you can shoot an EMP from it. But
That's
nobody's using
really
utility.
been the deciding factor in these defensive rounds.
Well,
has been
nobody's
the
using
BP
utilities.
changes. That's been what's made the difference.
I think that at this point, it seems like this is just like nobody's really. It's just.
Well, here's the problem here, right?
Yeah.
Snake, sure, he's 1 HP. Snake has study control.
Yep.
Waltz can just chill inside of the site with all of his utility, and X-Stars can, I don't know, just contest 90 with the MX4 Storm. That's about it, though.
He's a shield too, so yeah.
He does. Oh, that is true. Actually, I didn't realize he had a shield.
He's
You're
a
right.
shield. You just sit there and wait. Just flash him out. He pushes back, but really, there's just Titan, Flipper, and Snows just have to just murder these guys somehow, even though without all of these utility.
That's the issue. Is like 2 smoke canisters, C4. All Silent Patients really can do is play off of each other, hope they work a pick. But with 30 seconds left, they're also going for this vault wall. That's I mean, obviously now Super are like, hey, odds are there's 2 people on the 90 wall. They know generally their position. They could read into this pretty well. Sure, the Nomad can deny vault, but there's still so many people, including one study, that if Snows just pushes in by himself, he's going to die because there's just simply not enough people to make this work. The vault coverage does manage to work, but X-Stars and Snake are still holding their positions both inside of the site and inside of study to deny the push in for Snows, then later rotate and deny Flipper gaining any momentum in that round. 3-1.
So how do I analyze that? How do I analyze that round? Just gross negligence from the side of Asylum Patients. Like
that's actually really good. Gross negligence.
It's just the fact that Titan just opens the wall. They didn't drone the bottom floor, and you just Pack-Rat just hears someone slam a sledgehammer and goes, "Hey, a free kill." And then Nat did well though. He just walks in the bedroom. He kills the guy because Pack-Rat kept swinging. He gets another kill. Does get refragged. But then you're still disadvantaged on the side of the Silence Patients since they still have to make the push. And you just gotta waltz into sight with still that utility with the smoke canisters, the shields, the C4s. Like,
so to summarize our thoughts,
yeah.
that could have been better.
By attackers.
Hey, they're going. Look where they're going to though.
Are you kidding me?
They could win this if Asylum Patients keeps doing what they're doing. They could win this.
I mean, I guess. I suppose. And what they've been doing isn't really unique to, like, sites. It's just, like, running around and not getting droned. Which that latter part isn't really their doing. It's just not happening. for Asylum patients. For living room and dining, if you're looking to get aggressive, which so far has worked for Soup, certainly the site that you can make it work on. In large part, the reason the site isn't played is the necessity that teams have to defend Aviator games. Because not only is this verticality basically covering most of the site, especially living room, it also, if you hold it as the defense, contests that hall, that Z hall, separating red stairs and piano from the site itself, which the attack loves to take control of and can make great use of if they have it. So you need to make that top floor control work. You need to make it happen, which is great, because there's nobody there right now. So that entire point was meaningless.
Hey, they have the Oryx, though. Packrat's crazy.
They do have the Oryx. But the problem here is, Benny, since there's nobody on the top floor, Roy G. Biv can push in with his breach charges and later Titans with the sledge and just get free verticality.
Did he just run off he went to a Capcan trap.
That is true. If nobody's read into these EU1Ds, he could die. And there are 3 C4s as well, so it's not like Soup aren't without recourse for this verticality.
Hey, that's how you know they're not droning, because he ran to an EUD.
It's okay. It happens.
That happens. So
C4
from Waltz. Great C4. Great intel. Great intuition. That's not a great start for Asylum patients. And they haven't... There's been no roam this game. They haven't ran into anybody really aggressive from Soup, which is different compared to the other rounds. And now that allows for, Titans to go above and just open up this floor. And they're just inside the piano in the hallway. X-Stars is kind of not... Never mind. He's actually doing really well. Great shots from X-Stars. He just kind of... just kills him. See, this should be at least a grenade or something kills him. Nope, grenade goes too far. He has someone above him. He's still sitting in this corner, despite 3 members trying to siege him.
Now there's one just crouch walking into the site who X-Stars is not going to anticipate to be there. But thankfully, Waltz is playing close by on the vault doorway, holding the crossfire for the Legion. So now anybody can't just immediately walk in there, get a free kill. Never mind, that happened. No, but that's why Waltz is there, to get that trade. Will he get the second as well? In all likelihood, yes, he will. Sure, he takes down X-Stars, who's down, but it's a 1v4 currently. Titans, the one trying to make this site work for the attack, is dead. It's a 4-1 for Soup. I thought
the wall. They had vertical pressure. How did I kill the guy?
Did you just turn into Mickey Mouse? What was that? What was that voice you were just doing?
I just don't know. I just don't understand what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, I echo your same thoughts. They had vertical. They had the wall outside. And they still lost.
Like, they opened the wall. Great shot from X-Star. I'll give you that. The first shot was great. Great intuition to kill the guy on the left. But you had Titans as Sledge above you. You know he's there after he gets killed. And the grenade, you throw the grenade, and you have someone open above, you just kill him. Why was Titans not opening the floor above him?
What's especially funny about that, too, is in my head, I'm like, okay, there are C4s below. Maybe Titans is just, maybe he's hesitant. Rainbow just died to a C4. Who knows what could happen? Who knows what could happen? Titans could get killed by C4 for all we know. There was nobody with the C4 below where they were playing. Nobody was leaving. The one guy who was actively in living was Legion, who just does not come with a C4. And Waltz had already... I'm pretty sure Waltz was the one that used his C4, in fact, to kill Rainbow. So the 2 players in the area that Soup were contesting had already either did not have C4s or had already used them. So they were fully able to clear out the Legion with the sledge, and it simply
like,
didn't happen.
literally, they spent the 2 minutes trying to clear out who's it, Packrat? Or no, it was X-Stars. They're trying to clear X-Stars for the entire 2 minutes. And it was just Soup playing off of the fact they couldn't do that.
They even opened a hole above him and they sent a nade down to it. It just somehow
He was staring at that hole and nobody peeked him. Like, they opened the hole and Titan just walked away.
And just to finally put an end on that round, I just simply have no idea how what happened. It defied logic. Final sight is Kitchen. Soup posturing to move up 5-1 on the defensive half as the only site that Asylum patients have won. Well, they haven't been able to string together many wins.
Wait, no, we're kitchen dining.
Is that not what I said? I thought I said kitchen dining.
Yeah, they didn't win the site, though.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I thought they said they won this site.
No.
Oh, okay.
I want to be honest. I lost my train of thought there, and I was like, I was trying to somehow land, but
you lost me too. And I was kind of confused there. Hey,
no, it's fine.
Hey,
that was
this time though, at least there's a roam upstairs. Hopefully
I suppose. Also have direct intel on the Mozzie's position, who is so far not rotating. Rainbow wanting to play this cautiously, not wanting to throw his life away. Despite the fact that they have intel, they might have somebody, or Soup might have somebody playing inside a trophy or statuary, which they have one of each. One playing in trophy to cover that player, and well, it doesn't do enough. Well, he does manage to go 1 for 1. That is huge, and also rotate down. More importantly, take out one of the players with some soft breach on Asylum Patient's side, but still Titans. Still Snows with the breach charges as well, but they do manage to waste a minute 30 of time. C4 unfortunately doesn't find anybody, but that's a fairly successful roam in my book.
It is, but they okay. So 2 C4s gonna get big here. If they can C4 Titans, that's kind of the more deciding factor here. Like the roam game is a 1 for 1, but time is the problem. They gave Titans a lot of time. Well, Packer gets a kill outside the Snows. Great shots. C4 does go off, doesn't kill Titans. Titans doesn't get killed next round. That's the problem now, is the vertical pressure from Titans playing the angle for what we need to see him from last round. He's doing it this round so far, doing it pretty well. Packer out, trying to give his team more info, but I believe one's next to him. He doesn't hear him. Shots come through.
Oh, that's the clone. That's the clone. Okay.
Oh, it's okay. It's gem replicator, so it doesn't matter anyway. At least they know where Packrat is now. So great intel. C4 does go out, so that's kind of the important part. That C4s are doing work now. So now they're in the man advantage. Not really anything is shotgun. Focus going to die.
Yeah. Base check that. Let's see what happens. Walt's playing close with the shotgun, just immediately takes down the man with the diffuser. Now Titans, who has the vertical holes, could maybe try and find a pick with I'd say the 10 seconds he has remaining before he really has to start pushing down on the site. Isn't going to find anything. He'll rotate down even sooner, give a sound call relaying to both the players in Memorial and Living. That is where he is. 5-1-1 Soup on the decider map of Villa. Looking very good going into the attack, especially if you're able to get 4 rounds of attack on Oregon, you should be able to get at least 2 on Villa.
Hope.
In theory.
Maybe you didn't sell me short on Soup.
Might not be comfortable.
Maybe you didn't sell me short on Soup. Maybe you actually were pretty spot on.
It's really funny because if you go off of map 1, I definitely was selling Asylum Patient, or I was overhyping Soup. But then if you go off of this map, this map, I mean, Benny, maybe you can give some more thoughts on that half, or on the the first half. Was that more so Soup winning, or Asylum Patients just like not droning?
You know, I would say these 6 rounds really question whether or not I'm watching or casting competitive Siege.
I wouldn't go that far. I've seen far worse.
It's true, but they literally didn't drone. Like they were getting picked off to people just running around the entire map. Yeah. Every single round.
It's definitely been, there's been a lack of intel, and a combination of when there is intel, just kind of very discoordinated or uncoordinated aggression. Players seem to be on kind of different pages than each other.
Yeah, like we saw such good team cohesion in Cafe and part of Oregon, and it's just none of it's here on Villa. Like literally 0 of it's on Villa. Like where did Asylum Patients go to? Where did the team cohesion go to?
10 seconds to go.
I don't particularly know. Thankfully, they have defense now where it might be a little bit easier to rack up some of those rounds and also play off each other.
Yep.
On defense than it might be on attack, but still, especially after how well Super able to play on Oregon, they have so many more tools at their disposal now. More verticality. You can play above and below. Excuse me. You also have, if they're getting aggressive, Jackal's a bit more viable of an option. Still good on Oregon, but on Villa, he sees a little bit more play with their smoke canisters as well. Soup have a lot more to use to try and counter whatever Asylum Patients are doing. Right now, there is 1 player playing aggressively. 2 players, actually. Yes, 2 players. I couldn't tell. Flipper was down below for a second. 2 players playing aggressively inside a trophy statuary, and there you go. You see Packrat putting those Inox scans to good use. Finds the Jaeger pretty quickly, but that's actually a player over by site, not one of the 2 players currently playing off-site. And, well, there's one of them. Didn't need the Inox to find that.
No. I think it's good intel or just good intuition to watch for a rotate downstairs from the side of Soup so far. Snake's going to push into that master bedroom, trying to push off this trophy statuary roam, which looks like Asylum Patients have already abandoned. You know, Titans, though, he's going to fight back and take out Packrat, the person trying to solo clear downstairs as the Jackal. So, hey, 1 for 1. Nothing too crazy. You do lose that C4 in that, though, because of that. But at least at this point now, Asylum Patients have, you know, don't want if they waste a bit of time and now allowing Soup to push onto this north-south take they're doing. And I wonder, sooner or later, somebody has to, Soup has to go for that misdirection, or at least try and take control of Study to open up the wall and allow for his take to happen.
So quick update real quick before we start getting into the action of this round, which Wolves Academy did take their series over Valor's GG, so they will be playing in Controlled Nation for a spot in the regular season. This is the close qualifier. But getting back into it, Waltz will try an attempt to nade Flipper off that position. He'll be successful, not only destroying the shield, but forcing the Goyo back. Meanwhile, though, it comes with a kill as well onto Titans, playing, I believe that might have been inside of 90 or inside of Living. I'm not entirely sure, but also with a nade as well to help the push up main stairs. If they want to take it from that side, it's looking very good, but they are not. Instead, Waltz will rotate over to Study Balk, contest it from this side, hold and help the entry in from Skull, which might not even be necessary based on how things are going. Rainbow pushes directly into a nade. Now your only hope for recourse is Snows and Flipper, who do have 2 smoke canisters and a C4. So if Soup are a little bit slow on this execute, even though Asylum Patients are by far and away in the man disadvantage, they could still make this work. Snows finds a kill on X-Stars. Flipper also tags on for 1. Same for him, 2 as well. A lengthy pre-fire by Nacho moves this into a 1v1. But Flipper, all he has to do is play the time. It's on Nacho to go for the kill. Going for the bomb defusal here is likely not a very good option. But no, he is not all too knowledgeable of Nacho's current position. The impact grenade likely reveals it, but he's revealed right as the hole opens up. Nacho waiting for him to rotate back in, but he's got to push. It's Flipper who can just sit here and wait and bide his time. Nacho tries to go for the peek, but it's instead Flipper who makes the play. Nacho peeks. Soup go up to match point, 1 round away from moving over to round number 2 in the closed qualifiers.
Well, it was better, at least somewhat, from side of Silent Patience. They played a better game as defense-wise. Again, that roam game, nothing too crazy, but they go 1 for 1. They waste time. They cause for Soup to have to push in, and it was close there. You saw at the end there, Flipper, was it Flipper and Rainbow? Was it, or Flipper? No, Flipper and Flipper and Snow, Flipper and Rainbow, really trying to put on at the end of that, figuring things out, trying to stop that push in, and they had a 1v2 there, where they will stop. What was a 3v2? 3v2. They get those 2 kills, pushing into into Aviator. Great shots from those players. They make it happen, but then at the end, it's a 1v2. Smoke goes down to the pre-fire from Nacho. Nacho 1v1 Flipper. Not sure if it was the right play, but the time was running out, and I guess Flipper's trying to stay alive. It's just waste time, and he's trying to, in the end, you have to swing or have to be swung there, and I guess he tried to swing and didn't win the fight, unfortunately.
1 round away. 1 round away from Asylum Patients and Soup. Well, I guess 1 round away, actually, from Soup, specifically. Moving forward to the round 2 of the closed qualifiers. I have to see if they managed to make it happen, but based on the trend we've seen so far, you could even saw them in chat. I believe it was Packrat who said, "We're not running hard breach, we're just walking doors." That goes to show how not great it's looking for Asylum Patients is that Soup are maybe purposefully handicapping themselves, and yet somehow Asylum Patients failed to come away with that previous one. On Trophy Statuary as well, not running a hard breach will harm Soup here. Asylum Patients can play, unless a nade comes through, basically with impunity on that double panel. And as long as there's no hard breach on the board, they'll be able to play behind there pretty safely, unless a nade comes their way that isn't caught by an ADS or Ramai.
I'll say that's the case. It should be around for Asylum Patients. They have the shields, they have the utility. There's nothing to open up those walls. Waltz takes a lot of damage early from a peek from one of the players on the side of Asylum Patients, and so sorry, looking pretty good so far, but the question is now, again, how can Soup clear out this roam? How much roam is there? It looks like Rainbow and Snow's below, playing with those C4s that deny a push, or if they go for that plant early in the round or later in the round, or if they can C4 them inside a master bedroom. Flipper with an angle below 2 on China, actually, trying to help out his teammates if they aggress on these players downstairs in the kitchen. So there's a lot of, nitpicks to this defense, a lot of different angles for the side of Silent Patience. Now we're going to see if Soup can actually diffuse them and actually push them out of these angles.
So I do believe, by the way, that we will be getting a host now that the SI qual stream is finished. By the way, if you're not aware, PB have made closed qualifiers. They took the series 2-1 over 1 shot. I believe, Benny, we might be getting a host. Obviously, this will be 5 minutes in the future when you're hearing this. So if the case and you happen to be here, hello, good to see you.
Thank you, CDAPS.
Thank you, CDAPS/CCS Esports. This would be really awkward if they don't actually host in the next 5 minutes. This is going to be really weird. But if you are here, we have this game is almost done, 1 round away. We do have Wichita Wolves Academy versus In Control up next, so we have 1 more game. Do not turn off that browser, and we might be there pretty soon based on what is happening. Snake get the first pick, Nacho the second as well. Rainbow is isolated away from the rest of his team on 1 HP as well. Yeah, we're going pretty quickly to that Wichita Wolves Inc. game. Hope you can tune in pretty quickly and catch up, because Asylum Patients certainly are not. Soup can start making their way all the way towards the site. 1 is still there. Titans holding the vertical hold, but Benny, doubt that will be. There'll be many more kills for Asylum Patients in this round. I'm down.
That's kind of crazy though. Maybe Nat will wake up finally. And he decides to.
Nope, never mind.
He's dead.
There he went. And there it is. There's the game. 7-1 for Soup on the final map. I know, Benny, that you were worried that maybe I was hyping up Soup too much. And I was worried that I was hyping up Soup too much. But on the final map, 7-1 to close it out. That is what you want to see for Soup. Now they will go to round number 2, and they will play Outlast the opposition, the CL team. And coincidentally, Benny, the other game in the bracket also finished as well. For all of the brackets, here are the games. Wichita Wolves versus In Control, Soup versus Outlast the opposition, Windstorm versus Okami, and Didn't Ask versus Aerial Arise. We have all those finished. Very coincidental timing on that Windstorm Okami game, might I add. That literally just ended right as this one did, so.
Hey, that's good to see. Yeah, I was scared for a second at the beginning of the game there, but Soup really brought it back in this last map. It's good to see because, yeah, you tell me these amateur teams and you were scared there for a second there, but they brought it back, and that's good to see. And the fact that In Control beat Mystic Academy is still kind of crazy, though, and I'm really interested because we saw, In Control and unfortunately recency bias. I did not think they were going to be Mystic Academy, but they showed up anyway. And I'm interested to see if they can beat Wichita Wolves.
That will be interesting to see. I don't want to be mean. I don't think it'll happen. However, Valor's also did take Wichita Wolves to 3 maps. That is something I also did not think would happen. So, really, who knows today? Anything could happen. What we do know is that Soup will go on to face Outlast the opposition, and what has been, like, the first half of the bracket finished really quickly, and then the other half of the bracket took, like, the most amount of time you could ever take to figure out who's coming away with it. So, that is the first series. We have all of those round 2 games figured out. Let's take a quick look at the bracket. I gave a little bit of a sneak peek earlier. Let's take a quick look and see how everything is shaped up. You're a visual learner like I am. This will be very helpful to visualize what exactly is happening. We have Wichita Wolves Academy versus In Control. That is the game we will be watching after this. So look forward to seeing JJ maybe or maybe not choke another qualifier. I have to see. Soup versus Outlast, Windstorm versus Okami, and Didn't Ask versus Aerial. We'll say, got very nervous, but Soup, Outlast, and Windstorm Okami are the 2 matchups that we predicted at least. So, yeah, we're 2 for 4 right now.
Hey, you sold me on SQ, though. SQ, what is that, 2-0? Come on.
I might have been trolling a little bit. I mean,
you might have been trolling a little bit. Hey. None of us would have guessed In Control, though, unfortunately. That was a good thing, though.
Listen, I don't mean I don't want to say that I did a little bit of trolling. They were the number 3 seed. They appeared to be next up in this qualifier.
We thought they were Team Goosick. We thought they were the next Team Goosick.
I didn't say they were the next Team Goosick. I said they were the equivalent. Okay, I guess that does mean I thought they were the next Team Goosick. Never mind. We don't have to ignore that. We can ignore that. I did might be hype SQ Academy a little bit too much. But that's fine. Too big. I will say, though, I do think all of these games, I was thinking about how would you rank these matchups in all honesty in terms of competitiveness. What are you thinking? Because I'm thinking...
I think I don't know, because, again, we haven't seen a lot of Control Nation. We have a recency bias due to the last game we saw them with. Soup Outlast, I think, is going to be really good, though. Again, it's going to be another, like, CL team versus an amateur team. We already see Soup play pretty well. They have great gun skill. They showed they have team cohesive in some of those maps. Of course, Cafe didn't seem like they had much there. Didn't Ask versus Aerial Rise. That could be good. Didn't Ask has a lot of old names. You talk about Delta Force, Swift Swana. We've seen those players play against Aerial Rise, which is Frenchie and co. So I would say the most competitive here, I think it's going to be the Didn't Ask Aerial Rise game, personally.
Really? I actually... I might have gone for Okami Windstorm, but different tastes, I suppose. Always appreciate a different perspective, though I love it when people agree with me. Before we go to a break and before we get to Wichita Wolves In Control, we do have another word from our sponsors real quick. Going back to Mike and Ike's, the classic NerdStreet, and now SCS Season 6 sponsor. Clearly, I thought Asylum patients were the ones you should be emulating. I was wrong. If you want true long-term performance and you want to fuel your game, then you should actually try to emulate Soup, who clearly were the better Mike and Ike's team this go around. Always take your candy game to the next level with a pack of either the Mega Mix or the regular mix. I myself prefer the original. Never a big fan of the sequel, though the Mega Mix does have its perks, more flavors. The original, though, is a classic in my mind. It's the green or blue box, you can always tell. But thank you to Mike and Ike's for always being a tried and true sponsor on NerdStreet. And if you're at your best, you're probably powering up with Mike and Ike's. But until then, we have Wichita Wolves Academy versus In Control Nation coming up in just a few minutes, maybe a little bit longer. But until then, don't turn off that browser. Benny and I are watching. We have a great game coming up, and we'll see you then.